डेथ देने वाला है। थोड़ा सा फिर से यहाँ पर लौट आएंगे, अंदर जाएंगे, परफेक्ट। देने वाला है, थोड़ा सा फिर से यहाँ पर लौट आएंगे, अंदर जाएंगे परफेक्ट।
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Mythic Showdown. And tonight, we're absolutely excited for these two amazing teams to play. But before that, guys, of course, I need to introduce you to two lovely and amazing people. Starting from my left, I have Solski, the one and only, the one of a kind you would find all across India. And then definitely have Peachy. So why don't you guys say hello one after the other?
All right. First of all, what do you mean by one of a kind? But yeah, hello Shinryu. Thank you for that wonderful introduction. And yes, Peachy, now it's you.
Hello everyone, I hope you guys are doing well.
Hey, when I say one of a kind, I mean there is no one to replace you. Like you are
I'm just
just the
kidding. I'm
man
just kidding.
himself. But yeah, no. What even intrigues me is today's matches. Right, it's gonna be two amazing teams playing off, and why don't we hear from Peachy if she's excited about these two teams playing or not?
Definitely, one of the underdog teams are here going against one of the big names in the Mobile Legends 5v5 history as of now. So I am excited to see Special Grade Oasis Team Divine Regime.
Yeah, exactly.
And I think Team Special Grade has already made a name for itself from the previous tournament that's participated in. But again,
Yes,
we cannot forget these two teams have been always around there throughout most of the tournaments. And what even amazes me, their relentless performance in the Mythic Showdown as well. And today we are going to see I guess it's a 1-1 bracket, right? Or 2-1 bracket? We'll get to know about that soon. But hey, the teams moving forward from here will definitely have a better shot into making into the knockout stages. So I think a lot of the things are relying on this best of three. So it's a chance for both these teams. And what's even better is Solskjaer, the new meta man. Meta has shifted
Oh,
completely. Hey, you know
yeah.
about it, right?
Yeah, I mean, I was reading patch. It took me 2 days to understand this freaking patch, man. Like, it was just too much long. It was around 40 plus heroes that got changed. Out of that, I think so much, I think 50% was of the XP laners. And man, oh man, it just completely changed the meta. Even I think still players are actually having a little bit of trouble, adjusting to this meta. But yeah, man, oh man, I'm loving to see that they are focusing on the experience as well as I think so many new mages and new marksmen can pop off with this new meta if players are ready to use those marksmen in their game plan or maybe some adapt those marksmen into their game draft. But yep, I mean I would love to see that.
And I think even PG has seen this new trend that the first lane to gang right now is the EXP. It's not even the gold lane anymore.
yes.
People actually go and gang the EXP now. So that is the importance of this new patch. And PG, why don't you tell me more about how these two teams like to actually play around the meta? Like are they more uh, meta stigmatic, or do they actually like to try new things? What do you like? What do you think you have noticed among these teams?
Talking about both of the teams, yes, they are very much focused onto the meta and they are very much into the goal laners. They tend to make sure that the goal laners are the ones who are getting the farm, getting the snowball, and then they are the ones. For special grade, I do remember it was. The goal laner, I don't remember the name, but in the game, I'm pretty sure he's still
Hansen?
in the team. Sanson.
Yeah.
The,
Shout out
the
to my
he
boy.
Yeah, I mean, he plays Harith very, very well. Now that the Harith is kind of going out of the meta, I mean, not yet there. There are a few of the heroes. As we are in the transition, for us in this community, I feel like the transition is not fast enough as the other regions. So I guess maybe in this game, from special grade, at least I want to see something of a new coming up into the goal lane. But other than that, as Chindu, you have already mentioned how teams are focused onto the EXP lane. The shift is there from the mages to the EXP, and it just opened up a lot of EXPs, especially for those damage based EXP. So this is going to be a push and pull, at least for the Uranus as well as the Yuzhong as well.
Yeah, and you know what
Ah.
I'm now seeing nowadays is also the Lapu Lapu, Solski. Like
Yeah,
that hero is
Mm.
popping off really well as
I
well. And
mean, yeah, I mean, you're seeing everywhere like EXPs are EXPs are popping off. And speaking of EXP, I think Romcom is playing right now. So you
hmm,
know what? Plus, I think people are actually not utilizing marksman buff in this meta properly. I think Ixia, man, she got 30 seconds cooldown in late game. I mean, just go to 15. Go just get level up so fast. You have 30-second full barrage. I mean, 30-second full barrage means if you even waste one full barrage, you will get it by 30 seconds. When you don't even fight every team fight in every 30 seconds, you just need to wait, I think, 2-3 minutes to have another team fight. So I would have to see Ixia into the meta, and as Peachy was saying, the Harith. People, I think, in marksman lane, they are still going towards their own, except the Nathan. I think Nathan has a little bit popped off. I would not say to the S tier, but I think up to the A tier, I think we can put Nathan. But yep, I personally think they should utilize Ixia because she has got a good buff in this patch.
yeah, I mean the only time I've seen actually the Xia popping up, it was during the match between LCF and one another team, right? I forgot who it
yeah,
was, but I think Stark Easy was the one who actually used that hero, and he was not
Yeah.
really doing too well in the early game. But once the hero gets farmed, I think it's such a game-changing hero, right? He got a maniac in that game, being the
yeah,
key player to actually entirely turn around the game by himself. And I think another hero into the goal lane would definitely be the Roger, lately popping off.
Yeah.
And
I want to see
I mean,
that.
Yeah, but
so
people are using it in jungler.
I think it's more relevant
Good
into
in
the
Golden.
jungle though.
Mm.
Yeah, I mean rather than the goal lane, I think in the goal lane the Grandeur still has the the more pressure in the lane with the long range, because you cannot bring a wolf into the gunfight, can you? Now you will get outgunned, so that might be a problem. So no, apart from the Roger, I think the Xia is definitely a good option to go for. But once again, I think we will get all the answers to our questions in the drafting stage. And yeah, I mean, I'm really interested to see how these teams would be drafting. And hey, while we are talking about all of this, we are forgetting one hero which also received a kind of a revamp. That is going to be the Divine Resurrection of the Raphaela.
Oh,
Completely
Yo.
game changer. Hey, not forget that hero because it just goes under the radar. A lot of teams actually don't remember. And then
yeah,
suddenly that hero comes up. Hey, there goes your death timer. All of the blue. I mean, out of the blue. So man, it's a difficult skill to actually, just counter, because I think you cannot steal a passive even with the Vexana's ultimate, right? So
true.
kudos to the team. But once again,
Yep.
as we move in the drafting stage here, Solski, which hero do you think would make into the banning section? A new hero you think would definitely a ban worthy?
This is man Uranus, man. It's just too much hassle to face against Uranus. But yeah,
True.
I think Uranus and new XP should be Uranus, Lapu, and that Ruby. Ruby, man, she got freaking so much buff, like 6% to 20% your swell vamp, and plus your defense is also, I think, increased a little bit in, I would say, in during the dash phases, or maybe the passive vamp, if I'm not wrong. So this ban with the Uranus, I would like to see. But yep, I think they in Indian scene, I think they're still going for, I would say, cliche ban. The prior to this update, they're still going for those ban, except the Fluorine, because Fluorine has got a nerf. So let's just see what they're gonna ban. I think Lucas is also, has, I mean, not that much performing well after the new patch. But I still think Lucas is still a good jungler. So to
Mhm.
start it off, I think they might focus on maybe some EXP bans, or maybe I would say they could go for. I think I might have to take help from Peachy or Shinru from you
Hey,
guys.
Bishi, why
Like,
don't
what do
you
you
go
guys think?
first?
Oh, Selena.
Matilda will be still there for these teams. Matilda is still a threat. And I see
Yeah, yeah.
that in a lot of
Mhm.
teams. Even yesterday, we at least had like four Matilda bans all over the 5 or 6 matches we had. So
Mhm.
interestingly enough, I want to see the Matilda getting banned, but this time around, maybe special grade can actually pick it up for themselves. But Kalia will be there on the list.
And Souls, you talked about the cliche meta ban, right? And I think one of them would definitely be the bugs. Yeah, still getting into the banning section, right? That hero is so flexible in the games that it cannot be neglected from banning it out. And I think Peachy has also seen this trend along with you, right, Solski? The bugs, yeah, definitely. I mean, ban always being
Mm,
there, for most of the teams. If they want to play the jungler because Lancelot is buffed, you can go and
yeah.
easily mark on the back line. So I think most of the assassin actually face a hard time against a Baxia jungle because that hero is extremely tanky to burst down or even go
Mm,
against.
True.
yeah, I think.
And top of that, let's not forget this is a invade meta. You pick off creeps of your enemies. Enemy a jungler will actually have problem farming up, and that's the strategy to actually get your farm up.
Mhm. And Solski, I
Yep.
think you can go forward with your views.
Yeah, and I think okay, the phobias obviously because there is obviously the rom-com. They don't want to give away the push the rom-com, but I still think they don't consider Uranus and Ruby as a threat. I think I've seen Ruby playing gold lane in this tournament. Personally, not a big fan of Ruby gold lane because earlier also it was a meta before, if I'm not wrong, before the season. Oh, sorry,
Mhm.
season 36, season 30, 34, 35. It was, yeah, the Ruby gold lane meta. She was absolutely menacing in that gold lane. I think that Ruby hasn't come back, but yep, she has become more of a sustained fighter. And yep, I think you need builds for Ruby to get that sustain. So that's why people are more focusing on gold lane. You can go if you have a, I would say, high damage jungler, the Ruby gold lane. Like we have seen the YSS jungle, maybe some marksman jungle, or maybe some high damage jungle like Ling, or maybe some other assassin. But as we said, Rafael, a game changing hero, Harith still getting banned, and
Mhm.
Harith, not a big fan of Harith ban right now, but yeah, let's just see how what the Divan regime is gonna ban here because there are I think three or maybe four kinds of game plan that every team opt for. Like even if you go like two frontliners, one support, and two damage dealers, or maybe you go for three setter heroes and two damage dealers, and maybe I think a combination of these twos that can pop off. But yeah, blue ban right there.
I think the blue still is a problem, for a lot of teams. Most of
Yeah,
them do not like to go against that
I
hero.
forgot about it too.
Yeah, so even in the EXP lane, the blue is still a viable option, uh, and it's pretty much okay. But this also opens up a lot of choices for the side of team, especially great to choose from the buffet they have been given. So they get, but the problem is they just get one, right? They have to give two other heroes to the other team. And
Mm.
here, Pichi, which hero do they actually go for as a prio out here?
Oh, look at that. I want to see. Okay, yep,
Oh.
Matilda, as I predicted. For special grade, it is a one of a pick for them. A signature pick. So, definitely, if it's open, why not go it for that? But Lapu Lapu being open for Romcom, though, this match, I'm really looking forward for Romcom, given the fact that it is an EXP meta and he's gonna shine a lot.
Hmm.
Lapu Lapu for Romcom, what's your thought, Polski?
I mean, he's my son, and so I would like to, see, I would like to see. I mean, you can ask him, he will say it yes. So yeah, rom-com. I would like to see like he has a tendency not to pick. I would say he will might pick his hero later, but for now, I think Baksha is open. As you said, he might go for Baksha as there is the Mathilda to counter it. Maybe because the Phoebus is banned. Phoebus is one of the hero that can counter Mathilda. Maybe just a part counter Mathilda like a pseudo counter. And okay, Lapu Lapu.
Ah.
Okay, here it is Peachy and Romcom going with the Bakshi. I mean, I just sensed it out. But yep, you're right, Peachy. He has gone for that Lapu Lapu. He don't want to waste his chance to get that chance to get his favorite hero, I guess.
Uh, and Peachy, the good part about the Baxia pick is that it can be flexed right now. They have a really flexible draft so far. I mean, except for the Lapu Lapu, it has to be into the EXP, but the Baxia is still a question mark where it is going. So, team special grade, how do they respond to this pick?
Oh, interesting. I wanna see a Roger though. For special grade, it could be a very good pick,
Uh,
but they have to just dodge every possible thing coming in. But now that's not the thing that they are looking forward for. Maybe pushing Roger onto the goal lane could be working for them, but this time around, looking for a safer option. Lilia on a rise though.
the Lily actually is a really good hero to go against tanky members, right? I think the Roger is still a good pick even for Team Divine Regime, right? They have a good frontliner, so the Roger can shine well with the people who can soak in the damage. The Roger's like in pounds is pretty much is immune to most of the damage once he goes in, and if the members are low, hey, it's a feast for him. But Vexana here, Solski takes not the Vexana, I'm sorry, the Valentina. My bad, my bad. The
Yeah.
Valentina here. That's a good
I
hero,
was
I
like,
feel. Uh,
Vexana? I'm not pretty sure,
uh,
but yeah, this Valentina, I would say, okay, I would not say that because that might sound very wrong, but yeah, Copex with the Valentina. So
uh,
Valentina, for what I think for lasting insanity, plus I think they might, choke down some heroes for special get that they might thought that they will pick in the second drafting phase. So yeah, Valentina, they might not pick some high ult dependent heroes like maybe a Yuzhong or maybe something else because they just straight away give it to the Valentina. But I still think if they manage to pull out some baiting kind of if they become the master baiter to bait that Copex ultimates, so they might go for high ult dependent heroes. But yep, for a second drafting phase, the first ban will be go toward the divine regime DR. And what special grade does not have, they don't have a marksman right now, so they might go for marksman. Yeah, obviously they're gonna ban Moscow because Sanson is there. And let's just see what special grade is gonna ban here because they might also go for some marksman ban right there. Okay, Ranger, understandable. Now might go for some special grade does not have an EXP. This Xbox don't go for EXP, and still they have a little bit of junglers left. I think personally, Ling also got a little bit buff in his ultimate, right? So Ling, people don't use Ling quite often, but I still think Ling is a quite good hero. If you have like very high, what do you call it, high HP frontline, Ling is one of the heroes that can sneak through those frontliners and go to straight towards the back line. So would love to
mm,
see would love to see how special grade is going to counter this high HP hero draft coming from DR.
yeah, I mean, just like Peachy mentioned once again, there's always a threat of the Baxian as well as the invade coming in for assassins, right? Pick an
Yeah.
assassin, you get continuously, invaded. There goes your farm, there goes your resources, right? And Ling without a blue buff can also be a problem. So I think even though Ling is a good option, it's still a far-fetched choice for Team Special Grade. But hey,
Hmm.
if the Xbox goes to the jungle, I think that's a really good option for them. But what would be the good pick out here as a gold laner or maybe a jungler for the side of Team Divine Regime here, Preachy?
Oh, for jungler, okay. Looks like for special grade we already got a Xbox, and now for special grade I'm still thinking, and I think in
Ah,
a way they are thinking that the Bakshia is actually a jungler, but I think like 90%. Okay, I'm just going to put my votes on this Bakshia being the Rome, and they are just going to come with a surprise pick
Fredrin.
now that the marksmen have been prioritized, which is a good thing. And yes, Soul Sky, we might be looking at a Fredrin.
And carry is also open, by the way.
Oh,
Uh,
interesting. But
uh,
for special grade,
mm.
Yeah.
nah,
you know what?
this is too
You know what,
much.
Peachy? You know what,
Mm-hmm.
Peachy? I think this Bagzia might be a jungle, because we know Raden, right? He likes to play the tanky hero or the fighter heroes more than the
Yes.
assassin. So again, the flex potential might not be there. Still is a big question mark, a big unknown situation that Team Special Grade are in. They might be thinking a lot of possibilities. So I think the mystery out there is definitely gonna put them off or throw them off from their draft. Maybe kind of overthink into a lot of possibilities, might just put them in a spot that they might just pick heroes which not work so well. But hey, these two heroes always work. Ask me, at any time of the day.
Oh, people were saying you're gonna see sniping from Sunset, and we are gonna see that. And these heroes, as you said, these two heroes are gonna work regardless of wherever you put them. But remember, now they have also got
Yeah.
the access to the
Oh,
AOTG, and look at that. And I think, guys, we are gonna see this time that Speechy was right. But instead of Redden, we are gonna see Ryan on the Roger. And I would like to see Raren on a Ling on someday. I would love to see that. You can put the poll, guys, if you want to see Raren in the Ling. But yeah, for now, I think we are gonna get the Roger in the jungling from the DR and SG. They have gone for, I think, Xbox Jungle and the XP Gato.
hey, we have got two amazing drafts out here, and we are soon gonna head into the game. I think you two guys are the best people I can rely on for getting the game going. So why don't you guys just take it away from the match point on? But again, the teams are looking really solid. You can comment down below which team do you think has a better shot in winning this match. But yeah, there we go, guys.
Into the land of dawn. This is going to be the first match between Team Divine Regime versus Team Special Grade. Let's see if it's going to be a clean sweep or is it going to be a 2-1. The results will be up for for you guys to actually guess as well. So I am curious to know to see what predictions are you guys up with.
Exactly. And my prediction now, obviously, with my son, But yep. Now, as we can see, okay, Raren with the Roger, we can see Roger getting, his ultimate cooldown shorter. I think he is equal, how he was before, there was a gold lane Roger meta. I think we might be able to see that, in this new season 37, we might be able to see that meta coming back. Roger in the jungling, so many people are opting for Roger in the jungling. And we are going to see, as you predicted, this Bakshia in the EXP. And if I'm not wrong, is that
Rome Boxer.
yeah, yeah. No, it's not Rome Baksha. I was, amazed by the name of the Valentina.
Oh,
You know,
okay.
Peekaboo Predator. Yeah. So I'm not saying who is he preying on, but that will be the a little bit skirmish in the mid lane. But this Bloom, this Lilia, she has also gotten quite a good buff in this recent patch, and I think people might know about the buffs and all. But we are gonna see a team, in team fight. Let's just talk about team fight potential from both the drafts. I think team fight wise, SG, if they go on 5v5 team fight, if Beatrix also join, I think they have the upper hand. If Beatrix doesn't join the team fight, I think team DR in the early gaming phase, I think they might have the chance to just decapitate the team SG. But Romcom is in the position, will go for the bravest fighter of them all, and they will be see a little skirmish happening in the mid lane side. But there was the perfect disengaged from the side of team SG, and now the first order. Never mind, Raren quite too low. That was a very good turn coming from that Guttoad. And look at the Bloom coming from the Lilia, giving away the damage. And now they're focusing on the first turtle right now.
This Gatotkacha is definitely going to be a problem for them and an easy turtle for a special grade. Look at them. Now, time by time, I feel like Divine Regime, they are looking forward for the mid game to the late game. They want to make sure that Spiro would be the one who would be getting all those farms. Look at him. He's safe enough. He's just making sure Sanson would not be coming in quite as much as ahead so that he also won't be on the same plane for the gold. And actually, that is a very good strategy to shut down a little bit of a goal. Even a few hundreds really help a lot when you're on the goal lane. As you guys already know, it is not a goal lane meta anymore. The pressure is still going to be there.
Yep, exactly. But look at that. There's the bravest fighter from the Lapu Lapu. There will be the guiding wins from that Matilda. Again, misses out wildly. Will go for the flicker combination. Misses out, but yep, will get the kill of that Lilia. But there is the AOTG Xbox with a 14 rotation, lasting insanity, and that's the end for that Bakshia. And for now, they will be using the Revitalize. Quite a full resources have been used. Romcom is quite too low. This Sanson will join the fight, along with a very wrong heavy crossbow from that Irithil. My man, what were you thinking? You are not some South Indian hero that will jump on. Not even in the early game, in the late game as well. And yep, he will pay for that very wrong engage from that Irithil. I think she just got caught off guard with that positioning of hers.
Yes, and top of that, let's not forget Lilia with the early game is going to have that a little bit of a poke damage already going on. On to the bottom lane. The taunt already there. Pakshia though, too much in that. I mean, he should have just cleared up the lane and just went away. That's just too much engage right there. And even special grade popping up at the right moment, it is going to be a problem. I want to see this turtle who's going to be okay.
Oh,
He's coming in for Sparrow. Look at him trying to battle four members, not surviving
wow.
any blooms coming in from Chocopie. That's a kill.
Exactly. That was a very beautiful engage coming from the side of Team SG. That was some special technique right there that only special players know. Because what a cohesive type of gang that was. AOG on point, the Matilda using her guiding to just let the AOT the Gato escape from the turret, and rest of them they took care of that hill. I remember the second turtle is up right now. Valentina has that guiding veins but will not use, and the turtle will go towards, I think, I don't know. I forgot who took the turtle. I just didn't see that. But look at the Raren will pay the price. There's too much overextension right there. And meanwhile, we can see the mid lane there again. Chocopai will fall down from the hands of Romcom. Romcom is just too much inside of the four people and will be taking a lot of damage and will fall down for now. And 6-2 for special grades on a roll right now.
My, what a game coming in from Special Grade, who are very eager to take down the early game for themselves. Now, interestingly enough, the real game's gonna start from the mid to the late. Both of the teams have swapped their lanes, especially for those marksmen. Can we actually look at the itemization? Because Sanson definitely has picked up a Has Claws. Am I right about that? Oh, not the Has Claws, but a Fury Hammer along with a Sea Halberd. Interesting choice, just to stop off a little bit damage. And Sanson, my god, that Niburu is just crazy as of now. I'm really liking how they are trying to push it down while Divine Regime are cornered down.
Yep, exactly. Irithil needs a lot, I would say, scaling, at least three itemization. And with those three itemization being in this, I mean, in this scenario, go for just, House Claws, this Malefic Gun that just this guy bought Sanson. And look at the Romcom, is just quite too low. I don't think so he might be able to escape that. There will be the Xbox with the lasting insanity. Took care of that Romcom there. Okay, that's a flicker. There's too much eager to get that kill. And will they survive or not? Yep, they will survive. And that was a shutdown for that Xbox. I would say Xbox with a little bit overextension. Romcom bought the time and his team took care of it, but at what cost? They will lose the mid lane as well. So the trade-offs are not looking good for the Divine Regime right now. And okay, the special grade, they are on a roll right now. They are getting trades of like a very good. I would say very good trade-offs. Like they got a top lane, they got a mid lane as well, just for for Xbox. I mean, that's a very good trade.
Definitely the score being as of now double right here. Turtle, last turtle right there into the land of John. Team Divine Regime, I believe they are still not going in for that. Roger though is definitely going to have some kind of a problem. Talking about Raren 0-2-0 already. He's just trying to farm off with his attack speeds, which is a good thing, but he's gonna get interrupted. Look at that, Sanson already in the position trying to get them down. But I really love how Special Grade are trying to corner down Divine Regiment, and it's actually working. Look at that.
Yep, exactly. And now the Chocobai will also have that extra heal, de-healing. That's the glowing one. We can see the fight is going on. There will be the wrath of that Sanson will go for the rocket launcher ultimate. But there was a try to catch on to that Sanson, I guess. But yeah, Romcom is just too much inside. Will fall down. No, okay. He survived that. No, Lilia was there. Will survive again. And for now, this Bakshia is not having a time of his life. He's just getting melted down from the true damage coming from Xbox. Raren quite low. Will also fall down from the hands of Matilda this time. And now they are not looking good. Sanson is just quite inside this time. Romcom might go for the bravest fighter of them all to the Sanson. Sanson will survive for now. They will be the guiding winds from that Matilda. Just Romcom holding on to his own will get taken down, but will take Matilda with him this time. But for now, 1-for-2 trade. Not looking good for the side of Team DR.
Definitely not looking good. While Spiro also not getting any kind of a farm right here. That's going to be a problem definitely. But let's see. Let's see the Lord being around here in just 40 seconds. Team Divine Regime have 40 seconds to corner down the river area onto their hand, scout down every single possible pressure coming in. because special grade are there at the bottom, at the top, at the mid, making sure that they will be coming out of position. Chocobai already in position, but I feel like if they cannot engage, they need at least 4 members to engage. Same goes for Divine Regime. They need their frontliner. In a way, I feel like the Valentina thus comes out as a force pick, but it is a pick that they needed very much as of now for 3 days grace. For that Gatot Kacha, they need someone to break down the backliners as much as a special grade are doing, but they are very less on resources and they are very less on damage as of now, so they cannot commit to do the same.
Yep, exactly. But I still think that that Irithel needs to farm up in this game. Plus, she has to look out for, I would say, the positioning of hers when she engages with the heavy crossbow, because heavy crossbow is like a, I would say, can also be used as take down the backline. If the connection is right, she might be able to take down the Sanson if Sanson get caught off guard. But this Matilda is just doing well, very good job, looking out for her teammates, giving away the necessary support that a Matilda player should give to its team. But look at the concealer. Is Raren might get sick, might get caught in a very wrong position. There will be the ultimate from that Beatrix, might go in for that. Oh well, Valentina. AOTG onto the Boxia. Boxia will be forced to use Revitalize. And remember, Revitalize also got nerfed. Raren just quite too low. He was just not supposed to go in. I don't know what he was doing. Very bad positioning from Raven right there. But they will take the benefit of that and Raven will fall down. Meanwhile, there is a Valentina with the X-Broken Ultimate trying to give away a little bit of damage. Just trying to get here and there. There will be the lasting insanity into the mid lane. And Romcom is quite too low. Will go for the Sansin with the bravest fighter of them all, but will fall down for now. And right now, team SG, they are not ready to back down. Look at the professional, sorry, not professional, but the
Ooh.
peekaboo predator. He is buying time. Will he able to survive or not? No, he might not be able to survive. Meanwhile, we can see in the mid lane that the Sparrow just trying to get his hands onto that Beatrix, but the Gatot Caster, just too much front lining is there. And Gatot Kacha will fall down from the hands of Bakshia. Double kill. Okay, Bakshia got in the kill of that. Oh, Sanson, and for now Raran will fall down. I think he got that kill with the help of his ultimate. But yep, that will be the team fight for the side of team for both the sides. But yep, I think this time trades were, I would say, equal.
Trades were definitely equal, but special grade took a lot of in their hands. Taking down the inhibitor, even just with the Lord, is just so much, so resources in their hands as of now. Since Team in Divine Regime don't have like a proper assassin such as a Hayabusa or a Ling or a Fanny, I'm talking about high mobility assassin to make a you know crossplay. You're talking about how they want to go to cut the lanes and take down turrets. Lapu Lapu is the one who's just doing it. They need that Vararen. Okay, I feel like he's gonna get caught. He needs to go back, but lasting insanity. 3 members onto him. 3 members. None of the members from special grade are allowing Divine Regime to come out. Divine Regime are in deep waters as of now.
Exactly. And now the game has been to the 12 minutes mark. I think Team DR, if they want to come back, they need to hold out at least one more Lord. And Romcom going for that Sea Halberd in this game because they need for that Matilda. Meanwhile, this Chocopai, I mean, we are saying that Sansin and but Chocopai is being a menace to that. I would say that Bakshia not able. Bakshia is just quite too low when he's entering into the team fight because of the bloom that's coming from this Chocopai. And along with the Sanson just had too much of a poke. This is the beauty of the two frontliners and one support plus two damage eaters on the backline. They just give a too much of a poke. And this was the reason that I was saying that the team DR needs some assassin to go into the backlines because never mind Rarin again getting caught off guard. Lycan Pounds was there to, at least immune that AOTG, but there was too much of a slow coming in from the side of team SG right now, but they are looking for an end for this time because Sparrow is quite too low. Will be getting the ultimate from that Beatrix. So Peachy, what do you think is going to happen right now?
Divine Regime really has to push back a lot. They need to get Sparrow some few more items. Look at that. The opening is not there even for Raren as well. A little bit of a poke is there. Romcom trying to buy some time. The Lord marching in from the middle lane. Let's see if they are able to get it or not.
Yep, exactly. Meanwhile, you can see there's a lasting insanity onto the rom-com. There will be the Sanson, who's quite too low, will get taken down from that peekaboo predator. Wonderfully executed that lasting insanity. Now I think they have crippled the back lines of the side of Team
Ooh.
SG, getting the kill. They are just too much low, and this is what I was talking about. If they are able to defend this game, they might be able to come back. And what a gameplay from peekaboo predator! Wonderfully played. Just to, he just did a job of I would say assassin right there.
Definitely, they needed Sansan out of the way and Peekaboo Predator striking right when the iron is hot. I'm really liking how he just went in for Sansan, trying to melt him down, and that was the window of opportunity Regime needed. But special grade now, I feel like they will be facing the wrath of Divine Regime, but Sparrow is nowhere near dealing so much damage. Their mobility is so high that even if they match it, they are just scattering away with the guiding winds. It's just going to be a little bit of a problem. Raren finally getting some space to farm up, which is a good sign. But again, Gatot Kacha once again is a problem. Gatot Kacha needs to be get out of the way for Divine Regiment, but for Divine Regiment, they need to take out Peekaboo Predator. He's a threat for him. The mage alone being a threat is just, let's see though. Let's see though. Look at his positioning.
Yeah, he's just using his ability just too quite well. This is what I was talking about. Okay, never mind. They're just going for the peekaboo predator. Remember, he has AOTG to escape. We'll be using that for escaping, and that's just too much overextension from the side of Team SG. Will the team? Okay, never mind. That's just too much melting to that Bakshia right there. But remember, that's the damage coming from the Beatrix. Now again, they are going in for extra damage, and look at the Romcom going in for that Bravish fighter of them all. Will have to fall back for now. We'll have to use that abilities to fall back, but never mind. Santin, there's too much damage giving away to the side of team. Okay, Divine Regime, Sparrow is trying to do something here and there, but will fall down from the hands of that Matilda. Triple kill. Peekaboo Predator quite too low. Will have to use Flicker to fall back, and the Maniac will go towards the Sansin. And Shutdown will also go towards the Peekaboo Predator, but you know what? This is the end for the time of side of Team DR.
Special grade. What a victory you have shown us. And our host, Shinryu, are you there with us? Hello,
I,
welcome
Shinryu.
I have
back.
to be there, right? Hi.
Yes,
Yeah, oh my
sir.
god,
But
so
yeah, you
so
know
hot.
what? Yeah, it's very hot. It's been
Mhm.
raining suddenly. So yeah.
You are hot.
Yeah.
Uh,
Why am I between you
but
guys?
yeah,
I'm just
once
kidding.
again,
Okay,
guys.
okay.
Yeah, you just caught me off guard. So yeah, no, I don't get compliments every day, guys. So sorry about that. But yeah, I mean that game, bro, guys. I think Raren not being able to actually come online really early, and I see him
Yeah.
actually going for that. The old build that's gonna be the Trinity build, which is actually not really prevalent in the current meta. Most people do like to go for the
Endless battle.
Windtalker along with the Endless Battle War Axe and even with the Sky Piercer, right? So this is the old approach
Mhm.
that he actually opted for, really not working too well because he never got the opportunity to go in. His team was losing in the early game, like we all saw, right? The early game advantage was definitely in the side of Team Special Grade, and I think for that, Matilda as well as the Mage, it's so phenomenally well. What happened to the word?
Yes.
Phenomenally well. So yeah,
You're
feel
fumbling.
early game was a problem, right?
Early game, but more than I even yesterday we have seen, and day before yesterday, which was the first day, we have seen how Bakshia as a roam was kind of a less. Bakshia always serves less in every single team fight, be it any other team picking it up or be it Team Divine Legend picking it up them for themselves as well. In this team fight as well, it was not about how he was countering the Matilda. It was more about how he was there in the team fight. They needed someone, especially Sparrow, to get that window of opportunity, and they needed someone for the setup. Romcom did try to get the setup up during the last lot which was coming in. He made sure to go all the way around back, which was a good sign. But again, EXP alone cannot do anything. The roam should have been there. So I think the Bakshia was definitely a problem there.
Yeah.
I would also like to listen to Solskjaer's thought on the what went wrong for the side of Team Divine Regime out there. Like,
Raren went wrong,
Actually,
bro.
was okay.
I mean, yeah, I mean, just it's just too much direct. But yeah, obviously there's a combinations and amalgamations of all the small effects. How it
Yes,
gets compounds.
Mhm,
As the PG said, if you take one creep of the enemy jungler, he needs at least it will compound it to the next team fights. But
true.
mhm,
the mid lane skirmish that happened, I think the Gato when he joined, I think it took away Raren for the first time. And after that, also
mhm,
Raren was just trying to take fights, even though he knew that he was low on farm. That's not very Raren type. So
mhm.
maybe if they had just a little bit of patience, and as you said, the build was wrong. I think
Mhm.
Trinity might could have worked if they had the farm, but they didn't have the farm. So at least Trinity only works when you have three items. Three items is just too much of a cost to have when you're losing,
Yeah.
game.
Yeah.
So you might
Mhm.
go for, as you said, Windtalker, Endless Battle plus Vorex. Vorex and Endless Battle give you true damage. It will give you more good damage against the kinds of Matilda plus this Gato. There was too much of frontline. They don't have anyone to go back. Rarin was supposed to go back, but Sanjin until then was just getting too buffed up because he just gotten, I think, some more 11 kills, I guess. So overall,
Yeah.
team, you have to give regards to Team SG. They played wonderfully well, and I think
Yeah.
Matilda being their cornerstones in this draft, it just proved
Mhm.
that how they use Matilda very usefully.
For
Yeah. I
them, it
mean,
is a signature
uh,
pick. So for them, for the special grade, it is something of a pick that they'll always prioritize as a first pick.
mhm. And I did see some signs of life from the side of Team Divine Regime, right? When the Erythel was
Yes,
kind of getting farmed, right? There was a chance of a possibility to come back, and even with the amazing play, like how Solsky mentioned, right? He did the work of an assassin, Peekaboo Predator. So if there was more of that, I think definitely it could have been chance of a comeback. But the the hope was not long lived. It just got shut down really soon. So I think Team Divine Regime might have to just change their strategy a little bit. Might have to just play their card differently, because yes, they did have the Baxi as a flex factor, but uh, the flex didn't work so well in the end because their jungler could not really get the window to actually go in. Maybe go for a set tank. What do you think, Solsky?
I mean, as you- I think if they went for that, Bakshi as their jungler in the previous draft,
Hmm.
and okay, let's not talk about the previous draft. Let's just focus on this draft. Yeah, straight away. Okay, my bad. So yeah,
Hmm.
they're not opening this Kalea because they don't want to give away any pick of draft to that
Hmm.
special grades. So as you said, they might go for some setter drafts. Might be possible if we, as I have seen Divine Regime.
Still, they're finally being banned from the side of Team Special Grade, so they do not want to give it away as well. So, what do they actually go for if they get off the Matilda?
maybe the Rafaela could be a very good pick right here. For them, it's not about the supports what they pick. Even I have seen them going, yep, oh, they knew it. They
Banned,
knew
uh huh.
it. Yep, I mean, come on, understandable why the supports are getting.
Uh,
Banned. Support meta is
Dorian
back again.
actually also receiving a huge nerf in the current patch, right? Her heal was like completely uncancelable even with the anti-heal item, but this time it can be cancelled. So there is a chance, a possibility that this hero might not appear so much like how
Definitely.
it used to for a lot of teams. But yeah, once again this time the Harith being banned always on the side of Team Divine Regime, so they do not want to give it away, even if like Brendan has the first pick out here, Solsky.
Yeah, they don't want to give. I think in the previous game, they just lacked quite damage, and because they thought that Rarin was supposed to give damage a little bit, go for I would say burst down some enemies when they are low, but
Mm-hmm.
that thing quite didn't work well. So, and damage point of view, I think they might need a little bit more than Irithel this time. If again special grade go for that support kind of a draft, maybe one healer, two frontline, and two damage healers. Let's just see how DR is gonna go and prioritize this first. Okay, That's Kufra
Ooh.
right away, if I'm not wrong. That's a GR with a Kufra. And I think Kufra also got a little bit of adjustment. Now you cannot disrupt the tyrant's rage. Sorry, yeah, tyrant's
Yep.
rage when after unless until you have a suppression. So even if you stun that,
Yep.
you're gonna hit by tyrant's rage. So Kufra needs a little bit, I would say, positioning when in terms of playing a roam. So let's
Mm-hmm.
see how either they're gonna pick the Hylos to give away the vision of the Kufra every time whenever he goes for Tyrant's Revenge Rage combo. You gotta see that.
Yep. And the first pick Kufra, what do you think, Peachy? Was it necessary though?
For Divine Regime, yes, they need someone though. I mean, for them, they kept something of a mobility heroes, a lot of mobility heroes open. So picking this up could be a hindrance with the bouncing ball, of course. Now that Samsung Galaxy is going to get a little bit of a problem if it's timed very, very well, but there is a
Mm-hmm.
Selena though. I mean, they did cover the vision part with a mage. There is a one maze though you guys are forgetting. The Farsa. I feel like Farsa could be there, but
Mm-hmm.
again, it could be very threatened by the Joy. So I'm not thinking this game it's going to be a Farsa, but it's a very good choice against the Selena.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I think a lot of teams do like to go for the Novaria against Selena, right, Solski?
Yeah.
Novaria will will get busted out from that joy, I guess. But yep, okay. Kimmy, that's a very, I would
Ah.
say, they shown I think Kimmy might go mid lane as well. Yeah, that's a very good flex pick coming from the side of DR. Now this time they're going for Xborg and they limit down, I would say, some tankiness for the SG. So they are going for lot to
Oh.
counter that. Instead of going for high
Mm-hmm.
HP, they go for, we will chunk down the HP with the lot with the new lot we have. So I think again the lot also got a very good buff. His passive just
Mm-hmm.
gets below from whenever he I think hits an enemy, his passive just go below. Sorry, yeah, passive cooldown just gets cut by 1 second, I guess.
Yeah.
In the late game, I think his
Mm-hmm.
passive cooldown is just 4 seconds, if I'm not wrong. So that we are got to look out for this Alot with that. I usually say that Alot jhadu marta hai because of his, final slash.
Yes.
So yeah, he
Uh-huh.
sweeps over the enemy. He sweeps the enemy to the direction
Yeah.
wherever he wants to. So now the second
Yep.
drafting phase, Badang is banned. Moscow is banned. So they're limiting down the DR is limiting down the side, marksman, and SG is limiting down the EXP. So what do you guys have to say about the last ban coming from both the sides?
I think even chunk down the mage picks maybe a little bit. The Farsa is still a threat, right, PG?
Ooh, Forza. Yep, definitely. But I feel like for the side of Team Divine Regiment, it's going to be a Kimmy onto the mid lane. It's a popular choice right here at the Mythic Showdown season number 1. But again, the CC you're talking about, the crowd control coming in from Special Grade is just so unmatched right now. The Divine Regiment, they
Oh.
need to get Rad and farmed up no matter what.
Mm-hmm. Last game as well, Raden being behind definitely put them at a bad situation. And this time, the last two ban, one team opted to ban to the EXP lane. That's going to be special grade, whereas Team Divine Regime, just got rid of the Tigreal, so no more set making with the Tigreal anymore. So this will open up the Garud Kacha once again. So they're still overtaking it for themselves. So special grade, they still do not want to mend what's broken. They want to dive the backline with this Garud Kacha Yasolski.
Yeah, I think that's a very good approach to counter this Kimmy, I guess. I mean, just go if you want to go for the backline, Gatot and Joy combination could really work well. Along with if Alo tries to give away some, I would say, combination with that final slash. I mean, the Jhadu. So
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it can be a very good combination to counter that. I think team Dia they have the Kufra to counter at least one Joy. I think that's why they picked Kufra because they knew that they're gonna especially SG gonna go for Joy. But Kufra needs timing for every time whenever Joy comes in. And if we just focus on too much on this, Joy, so EXP has to come in and compensate for that set that we are asking for right now. So what will be okay? I knew that they are gonna go for Cho. I mean, I was about to say that they are gonna go for Cho, but this Lunox just try to going for the burst. Okay, they are going for the straight away bursting composition this time with the true frontliners being the Cho. And the Cho's only counter, not the only counter, but for now in this situation, the counter is also with them, the Kufra. So for now, I think Samson is left. We'll go for the Bruno. That's a good choice of marksman right there. We'll
Uh-huh.
go for Purify as well. So now we have got the pick-off draft coming from the side of Team DR, and we are seeing, I would say, two frontliners. And again, the damage, again, the previous kind of draft, instead of support, this time they have gone for, I would say, some tanky frontliners, Team SG.
Yep. I think this Joy would really be either a game maker or a game breaker for the side of Team Special Grade. But once again, Peachy,
Definitely.
both the drafts have been set, and even Solski, what time it is for you guys to actually take the game away for a match too. Will it be a clean sweep coming in from the side of Team Special Grade, or will Divine Regime actually, turn things around and reverse this entire series is the question. But yeah, with the drafts already on the way, you can, coming down. This is your time to actually, put down your prediction, which team you are supporting, and you choose to win this match. But here with the Land of Dawn, we go, guys.
Let's go, let's go. Now that both of the teams are definitely matching each other's freaks, I mean, the draft, I'm loving to see what will be the outcome of this match. Second game of the day, Divine Regime special grade with a upper hand, taking it away in a clean sweep. Let's see if this Xborg is going to be a threat or a no. And Sultai, are you excited?
Yeah, man, definitely. I'm excited to see my, you know what I mean, right? So yeah,
Yes,
so
sir.
let's just see how both of these teams are gonna play because the set is there, the pickoffs are there with the Cooper and the Romcom, and again this time he's just going to be menace. There was a try to go for the abyssal arrow mark from the Chocopi, and this time the lane clear is, I would say, is going to be difficult for the side of team Special Grids, but the lane clear is absolutely menacing from the side of team DR. But with enough damage, you have the lane clear, so you just gotta focus on the scaling up. Meanwhile, they are both of them are also both the junglers. I would say not the both the jungler, but the Joy is heavily dependent on those early pickups. If she started to snowball, if she started to find that perfect timing, I think he might be able to get his hands on that Kimmy. But he had to look out for this the power of this order and the chaos lady. That's the Lunox right there. Because if she uses her ability just to merge down the Joy, because Joy is gonna have a very hard time when you go to the back lines. So we have to see how this peekaboo predator is gonna play.
Yep, this is what I was talking about. Raj, and look at him. He is much more eager to go into the enemy's jungle and taking there. And let's not forget, Samsung Galaxy is also doing the same. Crazily enough, this is going to be a little bit of a chase. But wait a minute, into the back lanes, Kurufa jumps away with the bouncing ball.
Exactly. And now the first shuttle. I think they might go for. I think lasting insanity to take down combination with retribution combination. They might go for this turtle. Just then look at the positioning of the Samsung Galaxy. Romco not be able to catch that Joy on point. AODG, but Lix, there's the way of the dragon to that Lord. First blood, power of chaos, just to escape that the wrath of that Gatot Kasa. Meanwhile, we can see there is the joyful beats coming from the Joy. Cooper is quite too low. Raren will have to force away. Okay, that's a very good ultimate from that Kimmy. Okay, that was a very close call for the side of team HG right there, but they will get, I think, get good trade. They will get the blue buff of the Roarum right there.
Okay, Divine Regiment with the first lead into the game. Look at that. This time around it was Team Special Grade who swept away the turtle. Crazily enough, they will be getting enough gold to get a little bit of a spike. But Bruno, though, this is what I wanted to see in this game, something of a different kind of a hero. Both the teams are really matching the drafts, but the problem started when, Raren losing his retribution, but okay, there is a little bit of a pokes coming in. Both of them having that poke kind of a composition is going to do the same, but AOG.
Yep, exactly. That was a very good, I would say, Roarin. Just he just positioned himself good to dodge that AOTG. I would like to see some itemization from both the sides. I think both of these team knows what they are gonna build in this match. But let's just see what items they're gonna prioritize first. Would love to see a prioritization of the Berserker Fury from that Bruno. Okay, never mind. Oh yeah, I forgot the Cross is a very good prioritized item. And I have to see that what will this Kimmy will buy in this gold lane. I think she is going for that Sea Halberd first. And Kimi is just going to be get protected by a lot of people in this game. If she is able to give away damage to the right people, I think she might be having will be having a good time in this game. Meanwhile, we can see in the bottom lane there is that Sansin will get the kill of the Kimi, and that was a very good zone coming from that Samsung Galaxy. And for now, Sansin is going to have a very good time to eating their gold plates in the bottom lane if Pikachu. And now look at the positioning of Joy. She has that high mobility, and look at the
Yeah.
final slash from the Arlord, just surviving the day for now. Will be using his passive to survive. Just quite too low. Raren is also quite too low. Will have to fall back for now. Will be losing his Firaga armor right now, and there is quite in difficulty. Romcom might go in for some squad part, and there will be a very good ultimate from that Kimi joining the team fight. Will be getting the first kill right now, and will be getting his Sky Piercer as well.
A synergy, especially with the rom-com. Look at that, there is a chase coming in for this Kufra, but the kick would be there on to this final slash being there, but it will be evaded by the light form. Lunox trying to survive amidst three people. Look at that, Roxy trying to come in for a little bit of a re-engage, but Samsung Galaxy also trying to push away as much as HP from Araren. Unable to do so, they'll have to back up. But wait a minute, Romcom looking quite low. Flickers out of the way, but Joy's ultimate catches him. The next on the line, a Bizzle Arrow onto Peekaboo. The Kufra jumps in to save him, but nah, he is safe. But the Peekaboo is not. Look at that, Peekaboo Predator getting hunted down.
Overstayed, man. What the hell they are doing? Look at this. Our Lord. What a beautiful use of his passive. They are not able to catch this Arlord until they have a Cho right now, or the Kufra to, just tame it down. But look at the Romcom going for the Wave Dragon to the Selena. Quite overextension again this time. Will be getting the kill, will be giving the kill to that Kufra. Objective point of view, Team DR is losing a lot heck of objectives. But this Arlord, what a beautiful, I would say, here's the rhythm. I think he was using that, his passive as a rhythm, man. Like, first going there, and here and there, just dodging enemy gracefully right there.
Romcom is serving as a little bit of a distraction as well, which is a good sign that really gives the Kufra the space to actually jump and try to get his, victims right, which is a good sign. But special grade, they are also climbing up with the goal lead, with the kill lead as well. Look at them, they are spaced out very well. And let's not forget on to the bottom lane, you're talking about how the gold Kimi Brendan is giving up very good sets with the traction pulse there, especially three members getting caught by it. That's just crazy. But wait a minute, Romcom though, that was a kick. Yep, that was a kick. Early kick, no commitment, but Abyssal Arrow right on point.
Yeah, Raren is just getting boosted down from that Selena. And again, what the hell is that positioning? AOTG missing out with that. But okay, that was a very close call from that Arlord. Might not have that, the ultimate to, choke down this Raren. But meanwhile, the Sanson is having a very graceful time right now because nobody is marking down the Sanson, getting the objectives here and there. And look at the goal difference. Just by talking, we have seen there is approximately 5k goal difference between both the teams. And this is not looking good for the side of team DR right now because they have a very scalable heroes like the Xbox, like the Lunox, like the Kimi. They need scales, and with the pickoffs, they need a little bit early damage as well. So I think they might wait for the Kufra along with, okay, that was a traction pulse. Nobody holds there. The turtle will spawn right now. Meanwhile, I would say the burst down of this Xbox from this Abyssal Arrow Serena is just quite working too well in the early game right now.
Okay, so good for both of the teams not being cornered down, but team special grade are very ahead with the turtle. But look at that, light form already popped out. Raren, his Fraga armor being popped out of that. But okay, AOG cutting off the exit part. Roxy will be taken down. You're talking about how Sanson wants to get damage up as well. But Raren though, I mean, he is getting melted down, and now I feel like Team Divine Regiment can fight it off, but they need to go in, they need to find that window of opportunity.
Yeah, Alot is just holding onto that four people in himself, and like Allu Arjun, South Indian hero, he manages to do that, and now the rest of the cavalry will come down to help him. And right now, that's the end for the Omcom right there. Sanson is gonna hurt right now. He has got his 3 holy items. That's going to be, I think, Malefic Gun along with the Husk Claws, along with the Berserker Fury. His balls are gonna hurt. his balls are gonna hurt. And we are just seeing that how Romcom was the hunting or next to the next on the chopping blocks of those balls of the Sanson. So somebody needs to take down Sanson in this last fight, I guess. Oh,
The guy is dealing so much damage. Look at that. Into the mid lane, Kufra would be the first one to fall down into the hands of Sanson as we are speaking about. But Sparrow, the Brendan, will have to make sure to get all the Lord, the minions out of the way. The passive still stays strong, but for how much longer?
yeah, exactly. And now I think the Lord is marching from the top lane side. There will be a joyful breach killing spree for that Joy, taking down to that Romcom. And this might be the last movement for the side of Team DR. And there is a traction pulse onto the Sanson. Sanson quite not that much low. He is having a full blast right now. Nobody is there to catch him, giving 3 damage to the side of Team SG. Sorry, towards the Team the Divine Regime. And the next Lord will be up in 93 seconds. Will they force this team fight team Divine Regime? Because there is quite not that much resources has been used by the side of Team SG right now. Raren and Romcom. I think okay, there is an interesting fact also. Joe is a Kung Fu master who controls
Control.
fights with precise
Knockup.
knockups and target kicks. Okay, I didn't knew that. Thank you for sorry, I didn't know that. Thank you for letting me know. And obviously, okay, there is attraction pulse. There will be AOTG onto the 2 people. There will be the Abyssal or misses out. There will be the power of power of order from the Lunox. And this time the Sky Piercer will proc off from that Kimmy. Too much of a force fight coming from the side of Team SG. But meanwhile, Sanson taking care of that bottom lane inhibitor. And I think for the bottom lane inhibitor, that's too much of resources to use. But remember, the Sanson is quite too. Okay, that was a Joy with a wonderful kill to that Lunox. And right now, they're just quite desperate to defend this base. 1-for-1 trade. All out going in. Might go for one more final slash. And there is the kill to that Kufra. Sanson is giving 3 damage onto that. There will be the final slash from the All out. Will be taking care of that double kill from that Sanson. And now Traction Pulse. Okay, that will be the double kill as well from Triple. I think that's no, that's not a triple kill from the side of Team DR right now. And this might be the window of opportunity they were looking for.
Redemption is up. Divine Regiment, they did a successful defense despite the minions coming in. Look at that. The pressure is not stopping. They will be not stopping, but they managed to get Brendan the triple kill. They will be trying to move towards the Lord, which is a very good sign because they need it anyhow. Raren, on to the other hand, tries to migrate since he was the one who just got spawned. But let's see though, there's going to be a fight. Roxy is with the final slash. Okay, 3 members AOG coming in, but
Ooh,
there's a lot of damage. Look at that Traction Pulse dealing so much damage. Brendan, my guy, but this time around Samsung Galaxy with a perfect retribution takes away the Lord. They are trying to fight, but Sanson is still dealing damage. Wait a minute, there is members there, but now that's just too much damage to take in for Romcom. He will be down. That means 4 members for the side of Team Divine Regime are down, trying to find the 5th. What are they going to do? The minions are coming in, and is it going to be a clean sweep?
Yeah, it is going to the clean sweep because there is no one able to defend this open crystal. Lord also went to the SG, but they don't need the Lord to finish this game as this was the second game and consecutively won by the side of Team SG. Wonderfully played by the side of Team SG right there. And my guy is back with his cute smile. How are you, my brother? Did you like these plays from coming from the SG right now?
Hey, how can I not be, happy when you're introducing me like that? But once again, the game, man, we need to talk about it much more. That was such a snowball coming in from the Bruno, right? We did see some glimpse of hope once again from the side of Team Vine Regime, but short-lived once again, right? I think even though like they had the tools, they had the members out there, it was not really enough with the gameplay. The execution was kind of a lacking one because they could not defend their towers. If you cannot if you cannot protect your objectives, your own turrets, then how can you actually get to the mid to late game where your heroes would actually just get the power spike, get to the stage where they can actually deal good amount of damage because you can see the items are lacking for a lot of members from the side of Team Divine Regiment. This what happened? As much stacked from the side of Team Special Grade, and I think the Bruno was definitely a game-changing factor in the last game fight. And with all the items locked in Peachy, the farm on the Bruno definitely working well for him, right?
Loved how the broadcaster was exiting, was blocking every single exit path for all the members, not just one member you're talking about. Every single member are getting cornered out. The bronze doesn't matter. He did his work. He was there to take them down, make sure they don't escape. And let's not forget Divine Regime. They gave a very good synergy with you're talking about how the kicks were coming in, the traction pulse
Mhm.
plus Kufra jumping as well. It was beautifully shown, it was beautifully executed, but them losing the turret game was not up to the mark.
Yeah. And like how Solsky mentioned, it was so wonderful. The rhythm for that Arlot. And it was not only for the Arlot, right, Solsky, it was for the other members as well. They were able to go in, go out before they can get the damage onto themselves, right? And the Garut Kacha, the entrance of the Garut Kacha was so crucial in those team fights. And I think
South Indian movie
that
guy.
was such. Yeah, exactly right. He wants to be the one actually, changing the tide of the entire fight. So, man, I think that was a beautiful musical note. The side of team, special great play in the last game with their in and out kind of gameplay. Right, they were obviously going in when the time was right, when the members were low, but they were also careful enough not to overextend. But there was a time when they overextended, and the Kimi got a triple kill, right, and that was the turning point. But then again, they were able to get back to the driver's seat. So I think Team Special Grade had the control of the entire situation. So I think if they don't get too overzealous of themselves, they can actually make it to the knockout, right? Because the top two teams, Peachy, are gonna go for that, international slot. So man, they are going to get a lot of things. And
Second series will be as interesting as this one as well.
mm, and why this is why I tell Solsky one of a kind. Like this man never fails to outshine anyone, and out here he's also with a cute smile, guys. So if you like these people as well, Peachy and Solsky, you can follow them on their socials. So show your support, and also don't forget to like, subscribe, and share this channel, this entire stream to your friends and to your everyone that is there out there, because you need to talk with your friends about what is going wrong, what is going right, and you can to discuss about the new meta as much as you can, because this is the time, because you can get all the people from across India to talk about it, and with the top teams playing, you can even learn a lot of things. So guys, I think with that we need to go for a short
ये तारा इनको बहुत ज्यादा दिक्कत देने वाला है। थोड़ा सा फिर से यहाँ पर लौट आएंगे, अंदर जाएंगे परफेक्ट। दिक्कत देने वाला है थोड़ा सा। फिर से यहाँ पर लौट आएंगे, अंदर जाएंगे पॉपअप। दिक्कत देने वाला है थोड़ा सा। फिर से यहाँ पर लौट आएंगे, अंदर जाएंगे, पॉपअप देने वाला है। थोड़ा सा फिर से यहाँ पर लौट आएंगे, अंदर जाएंगे पॉप।
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to the Indian Gaming Corps. It's Mythic Showdown, and today we are here for the second match of this Swiss stage, which is going on right now. It's between Team Rayuga Esports. Yes, guys, one of the best underdog team right now in Mumbai server is Rayuga Esports. Wherever they are going, they are claiming the throne. They're winning the tournament, and today we will gonna know that if they can do really well or not because they are in the elite leaderboard. But the topper of the elite leaderboard, yes, heard me right. The topper of the elite leaderboard, it's IGN, whom they are gonna face today. The OG IGN versus Rayuga Esports. Server will play a role, but game as well. So whoever have the game will be, I mean, showing their name today in this match. But in the casting deck, it's your host STZ today, and with me, joining two of the best casters of India. One in my left side, she's none other than Asuya, and in my right side, it's Itami. Hello, Itami. Hello, Asuya. How both of you are doing right now?
Hello, Ash, and thank you for that warm welcome. So, as as TZ has already said, we are back onto the Swiss round. So, I'm quite excited for today's matches actually, because it will be one of the teams like Ash already mentioned. IGN, they have been quite a recognizable team. Rayuga, they made their spot onto the Mythic Showdown, like Mythic leaderboards with qualifying from the wild card. So, IGN, they are the toppers of the elite leaderboard. But Rayuga, they have came up with a really good performance lately. So I guess this is going to be a good best of three series. What do you say, Asuya?
Well, definitely, it is going to be really exciting, especially considering since the new patch dropped up, there have been so many changes in the meta. There have been so many heroes which have been, laid back before, but they have risen up once again. And the team building around those heroes, like every day you get to see some new kind of forms, new kind of team which all of them go for.
Yep, and Asuya, I feel like this new draft is not yet, adapted by Indian tournament players because I haven't seen those meta heroes yet. Unless we have been seeing those Lapu Lapu in the EXP or Arlot Yuzong. These guys are, normal. It's they had shown their power, so they had been picked up from each and everybody. But other than that, a lot of heroes got buffed right now. Kaja being in the buff list. You can say the OG, Novaria come back into a zone. She was not there. So people are not opting it yet, but EXP meta, which is simple and steady for each and everybody, they are opting those heroes mostly. But right now, IGN versus Ayuga, quick guesses, Itami, what do you think? Those pretty same meta we're gonna see, or the old things will be recovered here?
I think adaptability is like one of the major factors for any team. So it will be depending upon how comfortable their lineup is with the current patch that has just been updated. And I believe IGN as well as Ryuga, they have been quite professionals onto the scene. So adaptability might be coming up. And yesterday's matches, we did notice that whichever teams gets the first pick, they either go out with a flex or maybe an EXP dinner that has been significantly buffed, like the Lapu Lapu. Uranus is also possible, but I do believe Lapu, I guess that will be more of a priority for any of the teams because he has a really good early game control, and if he is able to snowball somehow, then the map presence as well as he has the potential of a 1v5 kind of like 1v he can do a 1v5 and just come out safely. That is the kind of hero Lapu is. But anyways, coming back to the drafts, we are seeing those regular bans by far, and nothing actually that has been buffed, adjusted, hasn't been onto the ban list. These are the heroes which have been onto the ban list previously as well.
I mean, people are not opting the Franco even. He's also in the buff list right now. I'm just getting annoyed by the Franco and Gushan these days in rank classic. Everywhere you go, you see these two picks, and they're literally so much annoying in the buff phase. I mean, at the buff, everywhere you go. But right now, we're gonna see the Bakshia being in the ban list. That's a good ban coming out from side of Rayuga. They don't want that hindrance, but it's like they can go for the Bakshia themselves as well because their jungler can go for it. But the most, I mean, annoying thing about Rayuga is Choco Chan. I swear you know that Choco Chan is someone who doesn't only goes for kills, he goes for push as well. So, do you think it's gonna affect IGN today?
I mean, definitely, it's always up to the jungler, especially in the early game, that how much gold they are able to provide, how much early they're providing to the team, and as a result, how much the marksman can scale. And just like both of you mentioned, in this EXP meta right now, which EXP laners are actually making a lot of difference, a lot. Uranus, these kind of heroes actually, especially even Ruby, because even she did get some significant buffs right there, and the removal of anti-heals. So I think, the early game contest, because EXP laners are pretty strong in the early, so it depends on the jungler, depends on the roam as well as the AXP, how good you can handle the early. And from there, of course, we have the marksman and the mage for the support and the carry.
Yep. And with this, we can see that yet no mages has been banned other than the Kimi. She's a flex hero. Is the meta right now after the revamp. She got into the ban list, but other than her, haven't seen a Fasa yet or a Selena into the ban list. So this is kind of, I mean, feel like they can come with the Fasa or the Selena. What do you think, Itami?
Highly possible, but okay, Farsa has been banned out, so IGN having the first pick priority, they might be going out with a flex pick here, or maybe they might be prioritizing an EXP laner. Anything can actually come up, but mostly it is a flex. So they have a lot of options. They can be prioritizing even the Rafaela if Zozen is quite comfortable with the support heroes as well. We mostly don't see Zozen on to the supports. Mostly he plays playmaker kind of heroes, like the Katutkacha was also available, but apparently it is going to be an EXP hero getting prioritized. But on to my surprise, this is a Phoveus. He hasn't been adjusted, but it is still safe to say that he is still one of the best EXP laners. If the enemy, like if the opponent, they go out with a dashy kind of a composition.
Yeah, if mobility will be there, will be hindered easily by the phobias, and that's the reason they went for it because we all know that Ryuga Esports jungler Choco Chan, he always opt laying Hayabusa this type of heroes where he can go for the kills as well as he can have the map advantage into his hand. So can he go and push up the limits, and he do always this thing. So they need to, I mean, stay a lot with this because whenever he will get a chance, he will go and push the turrets, and it really annoys a lot. Whenever I mean you are focusing or you're concentrating on a fight, and you've been seeing that your jungler is not here. He's been split pushing at the EXP lane, and it's mainly annoys EXP laner because Asuya EXP laners always rotate down towards the fight, other than focusing on the lane basically. So I mean, whenever the split pusher comes, EXP laner gets that trouble. So what do you think? What should they do? I mean, should they go for the split pusher or should they go for the, I mean, fights?
Well, it completely depends on the strategy, especially on the marksman and the jungler. They both of them are gonna pick right now, and we can already see Phoebus being picked up. Meanwhile, Harith, like he is a good hero, but then again, picking him up against a Phoebus, he basically has some free dashes. But then if Ryuga Esports decide to play it pretty smart, they can lure in the Phoebus because, of course, we all know the only problem with Phoebus is even though he's pretty good with the zoning, has a lot of potential. But if you zone him, like just bait him towards you and take him out of the fight pretty early into the game, because he doesn't have a method to exit once he starts to go in for those kills for those zoning. But right now, two mages being picked up, both the gold EXP, and the most interesting part right now over here is neither the roam nor the jungler has been picked from either of the sides.
You can say that, or Gatot Kacha into the roam, and someone will come and fill up the EXP. Dragon being on right now will be a great choice against a Phobius, or they can go with. I mean, Alot as well. Alot having some dash will have some problem in the early. I mean, not in the early, but in the mid game. But having the damage spike right now into your hand, you can easily manage a Phobius into 1v1 situation. But I don't think they'll be go with it. They maybe can go with a glue at this point. It's open, and Fedrin being in the ban list is a good ban coming out from Rayuga. But I was not expecting a Fedrin from Respect. Respect is kind of a assassin jungler type hero. I mean player. He always opted. So let's see how it goes. What will be the Respect's jungle this time? Itami, can you guess it? Or I mean,
Looking at the composition, IGN, they are going out with the comfort picks apparently. Even if the patch has just been dropped, even so is with Rayuga actually. They have just decided to go out with their comfort heroes. We do know like Mirio likes going out with the Phobius, followed by Aaron the Creator's Granger 2, and which his zoning with the Jushin is quite commendable. So they are just going out with the regular bans, and they are prioritizing the jungle. So I guess IGN, they just might go out with another exp hero ban, or maybe they might go out with a jungler ban. Chocolate Chan, he, even if his hero pool is big onto the, at least onto the rank scenes as far as I know, but onto the tournaments he likes going out with the utility and sometimes with the assassins. So it is safe to say he might be prioritizing the comfort as well, considering the fact IGN went out with the comfort too.
yes, and with this, we can see that the Hayabusa will be in the ban list, as you mentioned it. It's a go-through hero of Choco Chan. He usually play Hayabusa mostly, or he can go with the Diroth as well. I mean, I have seen him picking up a Diroth in a tournament match here only at Mythic Showdown, so he can go with that as well. But I mean, Diroth against a Jukshin and a Phobius, lot of stuns been provided. I don't think will be a greater choice for Choco Chan. So maybe he should go with a Ling at this point, because I mean you saw a Granger, maybe a Assassin Jungler will be coming up from their side as well. So you can go with the Ling. But Xbox is open right now, so it's also a potential pick. Can be a potential pick from Rayuga. There are a lot of options for them, but as Asuya said, no Rome yet to be picked by both these sides. If Gatot Kacha, we will think as a EXP laner. So, okay, I mean, you're going for the comfort of respect. You taking it out for yourself, Suyu, onto the side of Choco Chan. Now, respect is in dilemma. What should he pick? Joy being in the ban list, as well as Hayabusa. Asuya, will he go for a Lucas?
Lucas can be, but then again, there is also the Harrods right there. We'll be melting him down pretty easily. And yes, just like you mentioned, you really wanted to see a link come up, and we already have the link there. But, but then again, I was wondering, since Granger does have the range and he will be behind the scenes in the backlines, so you really need something to lock down this guy because he does have a lot of burst potential. So right now, Team IGN's picks, no, they're pretty balanced if you ask me. They do have the early, especially Zushin being one of the best mages when you want to go aggressive in the beginning. But then they like at the same time, Team Rayuga, they are kind of dependent on the Harrod, but then he will be scaling towards the late game. So just to make sure that he gets the farm, they like just look at them the way they have picked up three people who will be pretty good in the early, and finally, of course, it will be Glue on the EXP and Garotkaja for the roam. So both the teams look to be set, and then IGN needs to though make sure that Respect gets his buffs because I am sure they will be invading. They will try to invade them. What do you think?
Yup, obviously. Yeah. It's like, I mean, Ling is the go-through hero of Choco Chan, and Suyu is the go-through hero of Respect. So they will be playing their. I mean, Respect will be playing Choco's hero. Chocos will be playing Respect hero. It will be a fun thing to watch right now. And Glue being there, as you said, Invade will be on. So it's kind of, I mean, Glue can catch up the Jukshin as well. But the main thing, Asuya, I want to say you, Jukshin is a potential mage, but right now she's in the nerf. She got a big nerf, just like Cecilian. So how it goes against Eve is a big question. Let's see. We will get the answer in the match. But right now, heading into the land of dawn for the second match of tonight. It's between Team IGN versus Rayuga Esports at Mythic Showdown IGC Indian Gaming Corps. Casters,
Yep.
take on the match.
Thank you for the throw, Ash TZ, and we are back onto the game number one. Yeah, just going out with the, oh my goodness. Early first blood. Aaron the creator gets the first kill for the side of Team IGN, and that is quite a start.
Well, definitely, because we do know, Itami, that how good Aaron is onto that Granger. And of course, Harriet is weak in the early game. He needs to play it safe. But I was wondering that IGN will be the one who will be facing some consequences there, because it's pretty strong, the early from the side of Rayuga. But then Harriet already being taken down once. Just look at how aggressive Aaron is, not allowing Harriet to grab onto that goal, not letting him those last hits which Harriet really needs.
Definitely, and early game advantage might be for the side of Team IGN, but okay, Rayuga, they need to be figuring it out what they have to do onto that next turtle fight coming up, which he has a lot of zoning abilities. And shout out to Ray, that is your wife getting picked up onto this patch. I'm gonna say it right now, and looks like the turtle will be spawning anytime soon. They are trying to gank up onto the bot lane. We just go back, and looks like they are just focusing onto their objectives. They are not over diving, which is a good thing, because right now, early game extension as well as the team fights might not be it. Look at Twitch already doing that zoning. Oh, but he gets taunted, and looks like he will be going back. But okay, they have decided to disengage. IGN will be the one starting to contest the turtle first. Well, Rayuga just try to dive in and try to take down the turtle.
Well, here comes Vishal. Just look at the zone coming in. The turtle already in a low HP gets set back, and the Cyan pinch. But then again, it will be Respect grabbing onto that turtle. The zoning coming from the Hylos is pretty good. Rayuga team being just forced behind the scenes. Sushin being so good right there. Aaron, although taking that solo kill onto the Harriet once again, and with this Respect grabbing onto another kill. 4 kills in the hands of Team IGN right now. Rayuga Esports not looking to be in a good position.
A good start for the side of Team IGN actually, because you just got the first objectives, that is the turtle, but the other thing is Aaron has already landed 2 solo kills onto that Harriet. So gold laner getting fed out like that is definitely not a good sign for the side of Team Rayuga. If he is able to get his core items on time, Aaron will be quite a menace. So zoning him out will be quite tough, because they have the Jushin for their side. And even if someone tries to dive in, the Jushin will just try to do out zoning. Vishal was forced out to use out his ultimate, and looks like they will not be over engaging onto any team fights. And they have just decided to go back. In terms of the goal lead, I guess IGN, they almost have the 3k lead. So far so good.
Well, yeah, definitely. But then again, right now, Harriet, who really needs that gold, isn't able to get. And at the same time, the rest of the team, Rayuga Esports, are not able to provide the early game snowball, which a late gamer like Arasta needs. Granger, once again, just look at the bombardment, just look at the confidence of Aaron, because he knows he is. Okay, Salmon Force deployed. I think that's a waste of an ultimate right there. But Granger just moving up really right now. The mage getting caught up, really low HP, and one last hit from Fleur-de-Lis. Okay, that's Fleur-de-Lis being coming in, the AOTD dropping in. But then just look at how beautiful that, just continuous damage from Witch is coming up. That's Witch, right? He just changed his name.
Yeah, that is Witch. And apparently it is Mirio as well changing his name. Okay.
They are all Moba.
Bro is the button now.
Well, who wouldn't like Fleur-de-Lis after all?
Yeah, definitely. And looks like the turtle has been spawned. IGN, I don't think there is going to be any kind of contest from the side of Team Rayuga in esports, considering the fact they are quite back onto the holy, and look at the zoning coming up from them, which as well as Zosin, they are making sure the turtle doesn't get contested, and that will be an easy turtle without the use of a retribution. So IGN, they are having the early as well as the mid-game control. And looking at the draft, if Rayuga were able to sustain, they should have maybe traded out less kills, but apparently it is not going good for them. The Infernal Pursuit's coming up from the side of Team IGN once again, and that will be a two people ganking onto that Eve, a kill once again, and looks like I added the creator. There is the engage going on, respectively going back with the templates of blades, and there is the initiation coming up. Infernal Pursuit once again comes up, and Chocolate Chan will be going down onto the processor. 2 for 0 for the side of Team IG, and Rayuga have decided to just retreat, and that will be a safer call. But look at the zoning coming out from Zozen. Looks like okay, which will also try to initiate, but they just decided to go back. And so far, no kills recorded for the side of Team Rayuga.
The goal lead absolutely in the hands of Team IGN. The macro in their hands, the micro in their hands, and in the team fight below, I really thought that the Link would be taken down, Respect will be taken down, but the way, the beautiful maneuver of his ultimate, as well as that taunt being missed from Argadut Kacha, was something, they will be paying for, because Respect has a lot of bounty on his head right now. But it's just, they can't do anything at this point. Maybe just sitting back and defending is the best thing they can do. Respect coming in, grabbing the blue, and they might look for another engage, or might as well just wait for the Lord. But right now, the most crucial thing Rayuga Esports is lacking, nothing to hold on to that Link. And I think a Franco could have, or even a Kaja could have been a good option here. But then again, because if you do see, Glue does go to the front line, but he's getting melted pretty easily. Or even if he's not melted, when he's using up that ultimate, there is nothing to zone away the Hylos, there is nothing to zone away the Zushin. And Zushin, being definitely the bone of contention, really needs to be taken down before they can look to engage on those team fights.
Top lane, there is some skirmish going around onto the minimap, and that will be Aaron the Creator getting another kill. The Crimson Beacon coming up from the Jushin using the templates of plays, and looks like the Hades will be going down, but no, this time Zozen will be taken down. A 1-for-1 trade, but the better trade once again for the side of Team IGN. Visal should have been onto the zoning, but he gets taken down, and looks like Team IGN, they will be able to secure the third objective, that will be the turtle. They just need to be waiting out for the Lord. So far, so good. The tower advantage as well as the map controllers, but then the Zaman Force as well as the Sonata is coming up from the Ranger. He just tries to go back. The flicker has been used out. Jushin comes up with the pokes, and that will be Respect getting the kill, getting the job done, and they just decided to disengage. A kill onto that goal laner. Harith is definitely not having a good time. 0-4-1.
Right now, Team Rayuga, I think one thing which they're facing right now is lack of CC maybe, because if you do see the side of IGN, which is creating a zone in which people are actually, scared to enter, because they are getting melted down pretty easily, since they do have a lot of more equipments, more gold, more damage, and even if they're trying to escape, there's always Witch making sure he just drags them back to the depths of hell to their death. And yes, same goes for the Phobias and the Hylos. 3 CC right there onto their hands. But right now, the Eve isn't being useful because she is a good mage. But then again, you really need a good start. You really need a lot of gold and some snowball going on if you really want to make use of this mage. And Harith, though, does have a damage, but then doesn't have the space to use that Zaman Force, doesn't have the space to dash around or to give the damage. There isn't enough follow-up, there isn't enough zoning, and of course, there is lack of gold, so no defense.
That actually can be possible. And as you mentioned before, there is no one to actually catch up onto that link. And I guess execution-wise, IGN are doing pretty well, but they don't have that counter kind of picks from this side. And okay, we are getting a did you know did you know of that Lapu Lapu? And there are some informations going around onto the onto the bottom as well, so you can just figure it around for yourself. But anyways, the Lord has respawned, and looks like IGN, they will be trying to contest it, or maybe not. They will be trying to trade out with more kills. They just decided to disengage. Chocolate Chan is there onto the Lord lane, but he doesn't have the backup. IGN starting the Lord first.
Well, of course, and Garot Katsa, even though he does have the AOTG for those engagements, but then I don't think so that they have a chance here, because they will be just melted down pretty easily. They really need to sit back and defend and wait for IGN to make some mistakes. But then once again, the revitalize is right there. High loss being, healed up pretty easily right there. Rayuga Esports actually looking for any exchanges.
Oh,
Okay, damage coming in, and the AOTG used up as a defensive maneuver. Ling trying to go back, trying to look for that 1 HP kit, but then they will be retreating pretty safely. Although the second tier from the top lane will be taken down, and the Lord marching down from the bot, looking to just sync up those lanes. Look at the damage coming in from the Granger, the Zaman Force, and the rest of the damage. And CC, okay, Chocolate Sun being caught up. Manages to dash away, but the lane sync is pretty good. Will this be the final end?
It actually can be. The lane sinking are also up to the point, and looks like the IGN will be trying to engage. There comes a glorious pathway, as well as the Tempest being yet to be used out. There will be the kill for that for Aaron the creator. The art of him also comes up. The zoning is trying to be in, but Mirio just dives in onto 4 people. He will be taken down onto the process, but still they do go back. They got the inhibitor. Aaron's damage is coming online, and looks like Jushin, he will be trying to get those pokes. Aaron uses another Death Sonata. That will be a double, a 3-for-1 for the side of Team IGN. They are trying to get another objective, the inhibitor, but looks like the minions are not there. But still, they will be most probably will be able to take down the top inhibitor tower. But okay, the AOTG comes up and they just decided to retreat. A good call coming up, a 3-for-1. So slowly but surely, IGN are getting close to victory.
I mean, Dev was, just like I said before, Phobius, once he dives in, it's pretty hard for him to just come back to safety. I think that was a pretty fair exchange because they were managing to take down 2 turrets, 2 inhibitors, and right now, Rayuga Esports, they will be facing those pressure, those hefty minions. And if you do look at the macro, just look at only one turret has been taken down from the side of Team IGN. That's how well they are doing right now. And Aaron is all farmed up, he's all stacked up. Dead Sonata is doing a lot of damage, especially because I do think he does have that Sky Piercer. We could see the equipments from both the sides. So, okay, finally we do get the Divine Glaive. They really need that because Hylos is there. And of course, Phoebus also on that semi-tank build right now. So tell me, what do you think? What is the option for Rayuga Esports to do right now?
Oh, there is the engage once again coming up. The glorious pathway being used out. AOTG was not used out onto the time, and looks like Aaron will be getting the double. The art of the zoning is there. They are trying to buy some time, trying to clear out those minions, but the damage coming up from the side of Team IGN is quite massive, and looks like Respect he will be trying to engage with that Link. He still has his Template of Blades. The stun was there, but look at Aaron's damage. Oh my god, that will be a legendary. The base is wide open. That Sonata connects. That might be a triple, but no. Okay, IGN with a clean victory coming up against Team Rayuga Esports. That was quite a dominant performance.
Well, definitely it was, and I would like to ask Ash, if you're here, what is your opinion on this game? What happened that Rayuga Esports couldn't do anything?
Aaron happened to them. It's obviously the god. It's kind of, I mean, that's why he always fascinates me with his Granger's gameplay. You don't want him to get the Granger into his hand. And other than that, you don't want him to get the early snowball. He got 2 kills. That is an instant kill. The new highlight feature which is going on. You can say that's a solo kill, instant kill was going on against the Harith at the goal lane. But then we saw that a little bit of, as you said, Franco or a Kaza. Maybe a good choice rather than going for a glue at that point. Gatot Kacha 2 with the EXP. And glue should have been replaced with a Franco or Kaza. Because you know what? Ling was also a threat for them. Even though the KD is 3-0-10, but still Ling was also playing a major role in this match. And in the end, it goes to IGN, a dominative one. Quick guess, guys. 2-0 or we're going to see a reverse sweep, or 2-1.
Looking at the performance of Team IGN, I kind of don't like saying it, but it might be a 2-0. But I hope I'm kind of I will be getting the upset from the side of Team Rayuga, because we do know Rayuga's potential as well. We have seen them on with the recent matches too, but IGN, they have more of a tournament experience, and it is kind of showing in here. But still, Rayuga still can be coming out with a comeback. Looks like we are already on to the drafting phases. Quick guesses, guys. This time, they might be going out with the comfort, or maybe they will be prioritizing those meta heroes. But looking at both of the drafts previously, they went out with the comfort heroes.
Yeah, they totally went out for their comfort. We haven't seen something unusual or meta picks. Roger, Lapu Lapu, Alert, Yuzong. No one was there. Uranus, no one. I mean, all those old Trinity meta. I mean, Granger, 2 nerf already. Hadith, 1 nerf already. So they have been picking those heroes and maintaining that discipline, that decorum, and winning the match was literally a gutsy move from IGN. And thinking of IGN having the first pick, you can say Rayuga has the server at that time. It was Mumbai server maybe, and IGN won winning in the Mumbai server. This is now the Bengal server. So this is their, I mean, you can say this is their comfort zone. They're in their comfort zone right now. They got the server this time. So 2-0 is in a way, but as we know, Rayuga is known for the comebacks, just like Step Bros. So maybe we're gonna see a comeback, a reverse sweep is coming on as well into the way. Matilda will be the first ban. Gimme from the side of IGN.
The same bans as the previous game. And yes, Ray, I do hear you. Just like Ray wants to say that it's because of Zushin that IGN won. Well, that bias, Ray's bias is top notch. Well then, um, let's just dive into the draft once again. So, like you said, since the EXP is actually rising up, I think Azushin can actually be a good pick in this game too, because she does have the ultimate for the dodge. Of course, can take up the Purify or even the Flicker for an extra dash, and she is a menace for the melee. She is a menace for those fighters. So, can be a pick. And then again, in the previous team fight or in the previous draft, we did see that Team Rayuga didn't have enough front lining. The glue was there, but then, just like the Fovis, they just dive in too deep, and there is this threat that they will be taken down in the team fights pretty easily. So you really need more of CC, which Rayuga lacked in the previous game. So maybe counter picking IGN's draft can be the best option if they really want to make a comeback in the second game.
Joy into the ban list. Respect towards the respect, obviously, but not a necessary respect ban because you all know that Joy can be easily countered. If you could have gone with that, as you said, CC, then you could have done better. I mean, a Franco or a Kaza can halt the way of that of Joy's rhythm. So you can go for it. You can stop the way for the Joy, but no, you want him into the ban list as well as the Hayabusa. Two ban potential ban from Rayuga Esports is a Hayabusa and a Joy who are in the nerf list right now. IGN right now can go for a big trades. They have so many heroes open, and you can say Kalea, another wifey of is open. And in the meantime, Rayuga will be prioritizing it. Obviously, you don't want it to give to Zozen. It's his comfort hero, like Chip for Art and Apex. You can say Kalea for Zozen. He is too good with the Kalea. He's too good with the Gatot as well. He can go with the Gatot at this moment. And Badang being open is also kind of a choice from IGN, which can counter the Kalea, which can beat off Ray's wifey.
Can be actually possible here, because if Rayuga they go out with the utility kind of a draft, then Jushin can still work. And yeah, I don't blame Ray that he glazes Jushin so much. She is one of the best against the utility kind of heroes, the heroes that don't have the mobility. But okay, they have already revealed out two heroes, and the positions, looking at both of them, the positions are fixed, like which lane they will be picking up, and that will be a Lapu onto the EXP followed by a Gatot room. So Zozen likes going Gatot Kacha room quite often, so I'm kind of not surprised. But this time Rayuga Esports, they will be taking out the Granger for their side. They are not giving out Aaron his comfort heroes. But one thing is about Aaron is it's not just the Granger that is one of his comfort heroes. There is the Moskov too, and he has other heroes like the Harith, and there are other options too for Aaron, but mostly we see him onto the Granger. I think he will be taking his time in order to pick out the golden hero, or maybe he just might be going out with the Erithel too. It can actually work.
Yeah, Irithel too, or maybe he can bait it out the Irithel to the ban list and go for a Moskov as well. He's a good Moskov player. He can play that Moskov against a Granger easily right now because we all know Moskov is a great counter of Granger these days, and with the attack speed build, it works great. So maybe he can bait it out this time, going for Veach, going for a Mage. He'll be picking it later, and for that moment, two ban can be wasted. Harith or Irithel will be in the ban list from Rayuga, just like the I mean, you can say Hayabusa and Joy. They prioritize it. They prioritize the Matilda, but you see a Gatot, you see a Lapu Lapu right now. Oh no,
Oh,
there will be a
oh,
Harrow. That's cool. Because it will
Yeah.
be on, and Phobius being in the ban list. No more counter for the Harith. But previous one, we saw that Harith Granger 1v1. Aaron was winning this time. Let's see how it goes. But we're going to Asuya. What do you think, Asuya? I mean, Gatot Kacha being into the Rome, Lapu Lapu into the EXP. What will be a potential jungler for IGN at this moment?
Well, first of all, I would like to say that there is a pick off. There is the Kalia in the hands of Team Rayuga Esports. So, respect. I mean, EIGN, they will have to think a lot before picking up. Like in the last game, we did see a Link, and he was pretty free because there was nothing to hold him to suppress him. But this time, there is already a pick off in the hands of Team Rayuga, and so they need to maybe make sure they can even go for a tanky jungler. A Fredrin might work because there is, even though there is a lot of burst in the hands of Team Rayuga, they do have the early. But then there is one problem here is that towards the late game, Selena is highly dependent in those stuns, whether you're able to stun or not. But then again, if there is a lot of wall, a lot of front laners in the hands of Team IGN, and they make sure to protect the Harith, which he will already be needing that space which he needs. So that would be, the point of having Selena will actually be diffused right there because you really want those stuns to connect onto the squishies.
And Ezekiel is good with his Selena. We all know that. How it goes, it's a big question right now. Rustin Gall. I'm gonna see what his Granger gonna do this time. But the thing is, um, I would have been saying we should have gone with that mage pick, maybe Farsa to your side. Then they could have banned the Harith and the Irithel as well. We could have gone with Moscow at that moment. It would have been good. Rather than, I mean, right now, a big question is what it will be a mage because you can't go with the Eve right now. Xavier will not be a good option here. And if you want to go for a Novaria just because Selena is there, I don't think it will be a potential pick. But we are talking about which he has shown his skills with Eudora as well, so maybe he can pick it up this time in this lineup. But in the meantime, we're going to see Alpha into the hand of Choco Chan and the Badang, which is a potential counter of Kalea. This time will be along with Kalea. So lot of stun for Ling this time. Let's see how it goes for respect this time. It will be a beautiful thing to watch, Itami. Don't you think so?
definitely. And respect once again went out with the link. And Chocolate Chan, I guess Jushin can actually still be possible because you will be needing out the crowd control. And
In the
also the
ban.
fact that, Farsa has been banned out. Okay, never mind. There is something quite unusual, I would say, but against a utility, this is a really good hero. Paramus, he has the crowd control because of the chain CC he got. The chains coming up from him, it will be quite a nuisance, as well as those Nether in place. The ultimate can be the game changer.
Quick guess, guys, before I go. Draft. Who's better? We're going to take on this match.
Okay,
Well, yes,
yeah. Asya, go ahead.
yeah, both the drafts, they look really strong right now. And I think Param is giving that extra life to Team IGN. Maybe, I think they're planning to just be really aggressive because they do have the Lapu Lapu and he will be diving into those team comps and maybe trying to rage the Granger, trying to rage that Selena. They might need that extra life which Paramus can provide. And of course there is the Alpha with the Sphere of Alpha. If he manages to grab onto a lot of people in those team fights, there will always be the Paramus. So last time it was Witch on with the Azush, and this game once again with the Faramis being the bone of contention. So I really believe that which needs to be taken care of before you actually commit to those team fights.
At this moment, they got the first blood, but right now, no first blood in the land up Dawn. Casters, please take on.
Oh, which with the crowd control. Almost the taunt was there, but still no engages from the side of Team Rayuga. Esports looks like they will be able to get the Lethal Wanderer for their side at least. The roles have been quite reversed onto the gold lane apparently. It was Aaron before onto the Granger, this time he is onto the Harith, and look at that Granger already playing those poking games. The initiations coming up from the side of Team Rayuga Esports with someone is quite deep, and that is Josen going out. That will be a first blood for the side of Team Rayuga. Chocolate Chances gets it.
A great engage over there, and of course, considering it is an alpha in the early, and of course, Selena as well as our trio of Kalea really strong early in the hands of Team Rayuga right now. So maybe in this game, Respect might face some issues. He might face some invades, which I was hoping in the previous game. But right now, in the goal lanes, just like I said, the roles have been reversed, and Granger, of course, is pretty good against the Harith, considering the range and the amount of mobility he has. But once again, to look at them, Sandwich uses up the ultimate, manages to move away, but right when the turtle is about to spawn, a resource wasted. Both teams looking for that level 4, looking for some engages before they can actually commit to that turtle, but just look at the Chocolate Chan making use of that Spear of Alpha just to move behind the scenes, just to secure that position. Both the teams with the dance around the turtle who will be managing to grab onto it, Itami.
Yeah, both of the teams, they are trying to actually contest it. The Ling is still far, but still he doesn't have his templates of blades yet. The initiations coming up from both of the sides. They are not over engaged. Ralia will be using out the Tsunami Slam comes up, and there is the engages coming around. And looks like he will be trying to over engage. The AOTG comes up as well. The turtle has been reset, and respect goes down onto the process. Rayuga Esports, they are quite locked in. The bravest fighter coming up from Lapu, and there are the dives going around. Lapu gets the kill, Jozen gets the kill as well, but that will be a double for Ezekiel as well as the triple kill. Aaron, the creator, is able to find going back around. Well,
that was
I guess there are some technical issues going around. We will be fixing it. Yeah.
Yeah, but that was a pretty good team fight, Itami, because if you do see how well the two sets coming from the Badang actually changed the entire game right there, because that was a pretty good stance coming in one by one. And of course, there was the Nether Realm, but how much can you even commit? Because when the Nether Realm is actually used up, the team is actually pretty close by, and then the CC coming in from the Badang and the stuns coming in, the lockdown. So, it's my first time seeing Ezekiel on the Selena, and just like you mentioned, he is doing a great job. Grab that triple kill right there. He is always making sure that the priorities are the ones who are getting stunned up right there. With the AOTG dropping down, in a really low HP, but Badang once again, look at that wrist crack coming in. Bloodleys in a really low HP, the NetherRealm actually saving them up, and it is one exchange right there, but then the very low HP on the Bloodleys once again manages to go behind the scene. Harith all the way from the bottom lane. The Salmon Force being popped up, and Kalia will be taken down. Meanwhile, they are still looking for those engages, and Selena looking for that one last hit. Rustin trying to do something. Although Aaron is doing a great job, but look at the flicker and fist crack, and Aaron will be taken down. One hit is all that's needed, and Selena, along with Vishal, will be grabbing onto that kill, onto Chosen. Respect is the only one surviving. Just, decides to go away because this is not the time to engage.
Definitely, and IGN, the engages were there, but still, Rayuga, I guess that was kind of an overextension onto the mid side with the team fights, so that might be one of the reasons why they just ended up losing onto the team fight. But it was Vishal who got the kill, and he is not the damage dealer, so it would have been actually better if it was the gold or the mid or maybe the jungler getting the kills. But anyways, they did find those trades, and looks like they will be trying to engage onto the turtle as well. Both of the teams, Rocco is trying to get out some visions onto the Rayuga, will be trying to initiate. There comes the bravest fighter coming out from the Lapu Lapu, and there are the engages coming around. AOTG has been used out onto 3 people, but the stuns will not be enough. Chocolate Chan will be going down onto the process. Ozen gets a kill onto Rocco as well. That will be a 2-for-0 favoring team IGN. The jungler has been taken down, and that will be the another objective getting secured by them. The turtle goes down, as well as the 2 trades for the side of team IGN.
That was a beautiful exchange. If you do see Itami, Vishal on that Badang is making a difference right there, because the zoning coming from his is absolutely amazing, and the way he makes sure that at least 2 or 3 people are always caught up in that face crack. But I think Garotkacha shows him some issue right there. Maybe too far behind, will be taken down. Right now it is 5 versus 4, and Akalia looking for some exchanges along with respect the rest of the team coming in, and it will be Rasen will be taken down. But once again, a beautiful fist crack coming in, but no one to follow up the damage coming in, and respect will be taken down by Ezekiel. He tries to stun someone else, and it is 1 versus 2 right there, which trying to provide some vision. The damage is there. Kalia trying to lock up onto someone. Ezekiel trying to stun someone. And of course, it is a Selena, but right from behind the scene, Aaron coming there, making the difference, trying to do something. But the 2 of them manage to skip it. No, it is a double kill, as it will be the Lapu Lapu who will surprisingly grabbing onto those 2 fleeing people.
2-for-0, as well as IGN, they are finding those streets, but Rayuga, one thing about Rayuga is they are fighting back quite well. So as soon as the overextension are coming up, it is Team Rayuga who are actually having the upper hand. Initiations are there from both of the sides, and the trades are actually equal type. It is not one-sided like the previous game. There is this there are some engages going around, and the creator is forced to use out his Zaman force. He was trying to engage, but the stun coming up from the Selena, as well as the fist crack, will be connecting onto 2 people. Aaron goes down. A good trade for the side of Team Rayuga. They are fighting back. The Tempest of Blades has been used out by that Ling. He will not be over engaging because he doesn't have his blue buff.
Oh my god, I'm a big fan of the Selena Ezekiel. It is so hard to stun people who are actually hiding behind people, and yet he manages to grab onto Aaron. But right now, it will be Chocolate Sun grabbing onto that retribution, onto that turtle, but they're still going in forward. The OTD dropping down, and he's still being caught up. And Kalia trying to move behind, but it will not be enough. The rest of the team, the Netherrealm has been popped up. They are looking for those engages. They are in quite a low HP. Vishal looking for some flanks, looking for some flickers. The stun coming in from Ezekiel, just like I said, pretty on point, pretty good. And he's making sure that Aaron is actually grabbed on in those engages. But right now, even though 1 kill difference, the macro is definitely in the hands of Team IGN.
Definitely. And IGN, Rayuga, they might be quite equal in terms of the kill treats, but in terms of the objectives, I do believe IGN still has the upper hand. And looking at the goal lead, I guess IGN still has the upper hand onto that as well. There are the engages going around from both of the teams. They just decided to just go back, and looks like IGN they are just playing out the objective schemes as much as possible. Aaron, he is trying to prioritize the push. If he doesn't get zoned out, then the tower priority is being secured by him. But the problem is the zoning as well as the initiation coming up from the Selena. He needs to be a bit aware of the fact that there is a Selena onto the opponent, and if you don't have your Purify, you might be going down, but there is a Tsunami Slam yet to be used out. Rocco was trying to get out some vision, but unfortunately he will be going down onto the process. The taunt as well as the crowd control just did their work.
Well, and now IGN looking to force up the first tier from the mid lane, trying to open up the map for themselves. The Lord is already approaching, and Kalia being melted down doesn't have enough defense right now. Because we do look at Aaron, he already has 3 of his core equipments with him, so he is of course dishing some damage right there. The Stallion side actually got a bit nerfed, but it doesn't matter. Like in the previous game, he made the difference with the Granger. In this game, when Rayuga Esport did have the upper hand in the early, they were doing quite well. Aaron came all the way from the bot lane. He was the one who made the difference. Yeah, he is doing an amazing job. Selena is doing an amazing job. Vishal is doing an amazing job. Kalia needs to maybe look for some flanks, maybe look for some more defenses onto her, try to grab onto the link, or maybe try to grab onto the Aaron. Aaron does have the Purify, someone needs to bait it away first though. And both the teams looking for some engages, looking for the Lord Dance Dummy. So who do you think will be grabbing onto it? Because Chocolate Chan is doing quite well with his retributions.
But there is like one of the twist for either of the sizes. There is the link and templates of blades. If he uses out its templates of blades, he will be getting the immune, so he can be combining it with the retribution. But we never know. Or there might be a lot of dance going around. Rocco was trying to engage Respect, try to go back. The Wave is fighter being used out. Respect gets the Lord of Tsunami Slam also comes up. Chocolate Chan was too deep and he goes down onto the process. He was trying to secure the retribution, but unfortunately he will be losing his life. Rocco was forced out to use out his flicker. A 1 for 0, but a good trade for the side of Team IGN once again. They just got the Lord, and the map control is also favorable for the side, considering the fact not even a single tower has been taken down from the side of Team Rayuga.
Yes, and now they're facing a tight situation as Lord is marching down once again. The lane being synced from all three directions. Only 3 inhibitors and 1 turret remain in their hands. Rocco managed to grab onto that blue. But then again, in that team fight, Rocco tried to grab hold of the link, but that's the issue right there. He has a free purify with his ultimate. So two of the crucial people, Respect as well as Aaron, they have the Purify, but they are going in for another exchange. Islami Islam coming in, and it will be chosen who will be taken down. Good thing for them, but then again, he's still the roam. The priority lies on the Aaron, priority lies on the Link. Still looking for some forces right there. Kalia looking for some knockups. Vishal looking for some flanks, looking for some flicker fist crack combos to lock down onto someone. They might even be waiting for Selena to start to give some stuns for the engages, Utami.
Yeah, but one like twist with the Selena is like if she lands out that abyssal trap onto Aaron or someone squishy, the problem is the rest of the members from the side of Team IGN, before she dives in, they will be zoning her out. That will be a major problem coming up. So even if the abyssal arrows comes in, someone needs to do the finishing, like someone needs to be giving out the finishing blows in order to take any of them down. But I would actually like to look at the itemizations for once, because looks like both of the teams, they are quite advanced in terms of the itemizations. And yep, Aaron, I guess he's almost about to complete his build. So is the Granger. Actually, he has a better goal lead compared to Aaron the Creator. He just goes back to the Tempest of Bleeds. Oh, the Netherrealm has been used out, and they are trying to engage once again. The Zaman Force being used out by Aaron the Creator. This time, Respect gets the kill onto Vishal. He was trying to initiate once again with those first cracks, but unfortunately, the damage is still not enough for the side of Team Rayuga. They haven't found their big opening yet, and the situation kind of looks still dicey.
I know Kalia is being melted down. She doesn't have a single, like she does have the Oracle, but I think she really needs some Athena, some magic defense, because Aaron is the one. Look at him, 10,000 gold, the highest already with the Holy Crystal and most of this equipment's up to the chase, up to par. So just grab onto that magic defense, because Team Rayuga really needs that front lining, because right now it is 30 minutes into the game and Alpha is good in the early, but right now this is the game for Granger. Granger is the only one who can actually make a difference along with Vishal, but they are going in once again. The Tsunami Slam, the bounce is up coming in, the Netherrealm has been deployed and Rocco will be taken down. The AOTG behind the scenes grabbing all the 3 people chosen in a really low HP, but actually manages to go away. Right now, Granger is the only burst they have, but somehow his damage isn't enough and he's not able to make the difference, not able to make the plays they really want, and it will be an easy lot for IGN once again. This might even be the last nail in the coffin, as Alpha is just looking for some split pushes.
Yeah, he like Chocolate Chan, we do know him. Like he, as soon as he gets the opportunity, he tries to do the split pushes. But the problem here is the map control is way higher for the side of Team IGN, considering the fact Rayuga doesn't have the towers depth, it's only the inhibitors remaining. And if IGN are able to lane sync properly, this might actually will be over, because the goalie is also favoring team IGN. They still have the Lord advantage, and this time the Lord, it will be a little bit more HP compared to the previous one. So if they come out with a really good initiation this time, IGN, they might be actually able to end the game.
Yep, and this might be the final march, the last nail in the coffin. A hefty Lord coming down. Will they be able to defend? They're looking for the three inhibitors. They are facing the minion pressure, and they are also facing the pressure known as Aaron. The way the entire team, the way which, the way our chosen is making sure that they get the chance. Okay, but the UTG dropping down, the nether realm used up once again, and Chosen will be taken down. The tsunami snap goes off to him. Vishal will be the next on the chopping block as Link, but take him down with respect. A double kill for Selena. 3 members down for the side of Team IGN. 2 members remaining, and Aaron finally being taken away, taken down, the shutdown in the hands of Team Rayuga, and they managed to defend, but just look at the condition right now. Not even a single turret, not even a single inhibitor left, and they might look for some pushes, but they do not have enough lane clearing since there is a Selena.
Yeah, a good defense coming up from the side of, because the crystal was only one hit away, and somehow, like a clutch save coming up from the members of Team Rayuga Esports. Even if they ended up losing 2 of the members, they have bought some time for themselves, at least for now. And if Rayuga still needs, like if Rayuga, they still want a chance onto this game, I guess another initiation like that, or maybe another overextension from the side of Team IGN, might be the opening that Rayuga Esports actually needs. And Ezekiel, this time, the Abyssal Trap was actually onto the point. So that was one of the reasons why they did got the kill, and somehow they did, like they are still extending the game somehow. But this time, the stakes will be higher, because it will be that 18-minute lot coming up anytime soon.
Well, definitely, and just like you said, Ezekiel being the game changer, the main player, grabbing that triple kill in those team fights, the aims are precise, the priorities are precise from his side. Vishal and Ezekiel being the perfect duo for Team Rayuga right now, and I think Granger needs to pick up, push up, because they really need him, needs to mind his positioning, and both of them really need to make sure that Aaron is the one who will be taken down, but right now it is Selena too much in the front line. Will be grabbed down by Aaron, a perfect positioning for himself. The entire team is being split up, and Rocco will be taking down the double kill for respect right there. But will Granger be able to save himself as Chosen is still there? Link coming in, a triple kill for him. Only 1 member remaining, but it will not be enough. Vishal trying to make some plays, but of course, what can he do? Okay, respect gets taken down. The base is still standing, but for how long, as the minions are also coming in? The pressure is up, and with this, IGN grabbing onto a clean sweep and a perfect victory for themselves.
Oh my goodness. And they didn't even waited for that 8 minute 18 lot actually. That was just a bait. And their main target priority was the Selena.
Yep.
As soon as they realized that the Selena was off position, they decided to dive in. And the trades were way better. They just sent out the minions onto the sides, and they just decided to end the game. A good call coming up. Ash, give me your thoughts regarding the match.
It's like I'm not happy with Rayuga's decision. Two times they baited the Lord fight. I mean, if you wanna see, first time Link came up with the Kalea because he know that the Tsunami Slam will be on, and he got that out. So many resources got burned down. They got the Lord. They were about to win the match, but Ezekiel was the one who was hindering the way. Then second time, as you said, one more bait. I mean, you could have wait patiently, let them take the Lord. They will come up, deflect the way, try to defend it. It would have been great because I mean, you going for a Lord when you are not even in that level, and Alpha cannot go and steal a Lord against a Ling and a Gatotkacha being there. So it's kind of, I mean, you can say picks were a little bit matter in this match. Alpha was not needed. He's in the nerf list right now. Something Assassin could have been better at this moment against a Ling, obviously. It went good. in the early game, but then what happened in the late is the Ling. Obviously, he was unreachable. You couldn't have pick him up anytime. He was going against the backline as he was taking on the Selena. He was taking on the Granger mainly. I mean, Rustin Cole was doing nothing in the whole match just because of the Ling. Ling was carrying out the Rustin Cole all over the match. He was getting the kill out of him. And the second thing is Aaron, obviously. I mean, everything was going good for them until the 5th minute turtle fight was happened. When Aaron came up from the rotation from bot to turtle lane, got 2 kills into his hand, and he managed to, I mean, what equalize the kills at that moment. That's why the trade being into their side, they got the turrets. Aaron managed to equalize the kills, and then you saw that they have a good day. They won the match. And main thing, Kalea was always targeting Gatot, which was not needed. I mean, you're going for a roam. You should have baited that ult for maybe for Faramis. Can't go for. He got the realm. He can be, I mean, easily safe. But Harith could have been a potential option. Maybe the Purify was the thing he was not going. But Gatot Kacha again and again getting down will not giving away anything because he's a roamer. That's maybe the thing which happens today. Ashwaya, you feel the same or something else happened? I mean, draft, no draft, it was something else.
Well, it is the draft, but also the execution, and also Aaron. We all know,
Uh,
especially in that last team fight, how good it was. The way Selena was baited, because IGN knew that Selena is the one who's actually being really annoying in those team fights, being the bone of contention. So Aaron just goes, waits in that bush at the side so that he can dive behind the lines, so that he can take down the Granger, so that he can take down Ezekiel, two of the people who really, are always in a safe location due to the range. But then even Selena near that Lord team fight, she manages to stand, but then she shouldn't have gone and taken that. When you're playing a Selena, there's always this kind of, I don't know, something screams from inside that if something has been stunned, let's go and kill. But that's not something which you should actually be doing in the late game, especially when there is no vision. Because Aaron was in the perfect position, that was a perfect bait, and both the squishies once taken down, and Kelly, just like you mentioned, that she was actually pretty easily diffused owing to the Purify onto the link, owing to the Purify in the hands of Aaron. And with that, all she could do was grab onto the Faramis, but of course she couldn't do that. And the way she was diving in, she was getting melted down so easily. So,
Yeah.
if Selena is gone and Rome cannot do anything, what can Vishal even do all alone on his own? Considering that Granger was actually kind of underperforming, if you ask me, because he was only hitting the tanks. He was not trying to mind his position and lock down onto Aaron or even Witch.
Yeah. And it's like it's time for wrap up, guys. Already on today. It's like 2 matches went 2-0. The first one as special grade clicked on with a 2-0 against Divine Rhythm, and now IGN finished it up with a 2-0 as well against Rayuga. So I mean, today we are literally going so fast because yesterday I just remember, Itami, if you were there as well. We finished it up at 11, and today we're like at 10. So like we are going so fast, but what can we do? 2 matches already done, so it's time for wrap up. And guys, thank you for joining. Thank you for shouting a love and support to us. I mean, obviously we want this support from you all, and you always shout it us. I mean, shout it on to us. So thank you so much for joining, guys. And let's see. Tomorrow we'll be again back with another 2 banger matches. So hope you'll all be there tomorrow as well. So till then, me, host STZ, Itami, and Asuya will be signing off from Mythic Showdown at IGC Indian Gaming Corps. Thank you for joining. Thank you for watching. Love you all. Good night, everyone. Sabak here.
ये तारा इनको बहुत ज्यादा दिक्कत देने वाला है। थोड़ा सा फिर से यहाँ पर लौट आएंगे, अंदर जाएंगे, पॉप